Naruto. Start signing in with the Tremor-Tremor Fruit. Chapter 1. The old man was in a hurry to get out of the house. The Land of Fire, Konoha Ninja Village. A row of houses, located in the south of Konoha Village, is the residence arranged by the village for war orphans. The so-called war orphans are those whose parents are Konoha Village ninjas. After they die in the line of duty, their children will be raised by the village. They will be trained to become excellent ninjas again. At this time, in the Qingchuan family mansion, a young man in an orange short shirt looked excited, dropped the business in his hands, and walked quickly towards the gate. It's been 12 years, and it's finally here. System, what's the novice mission? Ding. Novice mission. Please sign in at Konoha Hokage Rock within the time limit. Sign in and get a system reward. Konoha Hokage Rock is a sacred place in the village, located behind the Konoha office in the north, and engraved with the names of Konoha's successive Hokages. It was also the beginning of his rise. 12 years ago, Li Tianming accidentally traveled to the Nine Tails attack in Konoha in 1948 and became the offspring of a Chunin Qingchuan Daihui. Qingchuan and his wife died in the Nine Tails incident, and Li Tianming became an orphan of the war. He lived again in the Naruto world and used the name Qingchuan Tianming, and then he lived like this for 12 years. Tianming, who didn't have a golden finger, didn't feel anything at first. On the contrary, he was willing to practice hard. But he was a waste who couldn't sense chakra, and it had been like this for several years. Just when Tianming was about to give up training and become a lazy person, this system came. Tianming said he was very excited. After all, he came before the big plot began. He was the same age as the 12 little strongmen of Konoha, from the same village and the same camp. He had enough time to participate. And today, he finally waited for this time. Konoha village was a little quiet at night, except for a few ninjas on duty. After leaving Qingchuan's house, Tianming went straight to the Hokage Rock. Due to the time limit, his pace was not slow. While rushing on the road, Tianming had to intentionally or unintentionally avoid the perception of the ninjas on duty. After all, if he swaggered to the Hokage's office, he would probably be caught and taken back to sleep before he entered. Fortunately, although Tianming could not sense chakra for so many years, his physical skills and body movements had not fallen behind, which provided him with a lot of convenience. The bright moon was hanging high, and the cold wind was howling. Tianming arrived at the Hokage's office without any danger. After climbing over the wall with his hands and feet, he quickly came to the bottom of the cliff. Looking up, he could see the first statues of the successive Hokage, which looked majestic and magnificent. Without much hesitation, Tianming began to climb up to the Hokage Rock. At the same time, in the dense woods above the cliff, several masked ninjas appeared here quietly. There were 5 masked ninjas in total, exuding a faint chakra pressure. The Hokage Rock of Konoha Village is in front of us, and we can't go any further. A ninja in the team said cautiously. What are you afraid of? We came to Konoha for a mission. Another masked ninja snorted coldly. Anbu ninjas will not occupy a large number of places. Stupid, don't you know who is inside? Of course I know, Konoha Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. Stop arguing. At this time, the leading ninja said unhappily, our mission is to investigate Konoha village. It is not advisable to alert the enemy. Be careful. As for Konoha Hokage, it is very likely that you will never come back if you provoke him. The eldest brother spoke, and the others shut up. In fact, they were just talking nonsense. Which of the shadows of the ninja village is not a contemporary strongman? Action. The leading ninja gave an order, and the 5 people disappeared in the woods in an instant. At the same time, Tianming finally came to the top of the 4th generation Hokage after great efforts. Congratulations to the host for arriving at the check-in location and officially starting to check in. The duration is 10 seconds, and the task failed if you quit halfway. Listening to the voice of the system, Tianming was happy. But at this moment, a sound of breaking wind sounded overhead. Tianming looked up and saw 5 black shadows swooping down. Enemy attack. Tianming's heart skipped a beat. The northern part of Konoha village was undefended. After all, this was also where the Hokage lived. When the 5 masked ninjas in the sky were investigating the terrain, they saw Tianming standing on the Hokage Rock at a glance. There are people up there, the plan has changed. A low shout sounded, and thick chakra surged out of the bodies of the 5 people, making them stand in the void. Brother, it seems to be a child. No matter who it is. Cut the grass and root it out. Exclamation mark quote. The leading ninja threw his right hand suddenly, and 3 shurikens instantly stabbed Tianming. In their opinion, a child from Konoha village is just a matter of a shuriken. Sign in successfully. System reward. Ultimate chakra. At the critical moment, a large amount of chakra instantly surged out of Tianming's body, and the chakra pressed out and crushed the flying shuriken into powder. Even in an instant, a formation composed of chakra was formed. What kind of monster is this? The ninja was so angry that he was beaten. Chakra is the source of energy for ninjas and is related to the release of ninjutsu. In other words, all powerful ninjas have deep chakra and are proficient in ninjutsu. So they were so surprised when they saw Tianming's ultimate chakra, because they themselves could not release chakra to have a defensive effect. Tianming slowly opened his eyes and glared at the 5 masked ninjas with lightning-like eyes. Ultimate chakra. That is, full-state chakra. Tianming's body, which had not felt the taste of chakra in the past 12 years, is now like a vast ocean. A little chakra spreads from the dantian to the whole body. The meridians in various parts of the body are like thousands of rivers, and these rivers are full of abundant chakra. I can't believe it. It's unbelievable. The masked ninjas were stunned and almost forgot the mission of this trip. The leading ninja's eyes were red. Such abundant chakra, such a strange physique. Lord Orochimaru will definitely like it. Tianming is in a very delicate mood now. He has just ended his life as a waste without chakra, and now he is in danger. After all, he is just a child and doesn't know ninjutsu. Change the plan. Bring back this child. The leading ninja gave an order and took the lead in attacking Tianming. They were ordered by Orochimaru to investigate Konoha village, which was originally a mission full of crises. But now there is no need to take risks. As long as they bring back a special child, they can not only complete the mission, but also get rewards from Lord Orochimaru. Facing the attack of 5 ninjas, Tianming's scalp numbed, but he couldn't fight back for a while. He hurriedly pushed both sides. The chakra floating on the surface of the body formed a defense and pushed out to resist various ninjutsu. In the Hokage's office, the Sandaime Hokage was investigating the border intelligence presented by the Konoha Anbu when an astonishing chakra collision aura came over. This level of chakra, Hokage rock. Sensing that the source of the chakra was the Hokage rock, Sarutobi Hiruzen left the Hokage's office in one step and rushed towards the Hokage rock. The Hokage rock is the spiritual symbol of Konoha, and no one is allowed to blaspheme it. And the ninjas of Konoha village will not do it there. There is only one truth. The 5 people joined forces but failed to capture Tianming. It was not because Tianming was too strong, but because they could not break the defense. Can you have some shame? Tianming's face turned green. A group of people beat up a 12-year-old child. Is this what a human being does? After leaving a sentence, Tianming jumped directly off the Hokage rock. Although he did not know ninjutsu, fortunately, after having chakra, his body skills were also strengthened. Where are you running? The leading ninja snorted coldly, and formed a complex seal with his hands. A dark giant snake was summoned, and the black giant snake roared to the sky and chased Tianming. Just when the black giant snake came behind Tianming and opened its bloody mouth, a hot chakra bloomed above the black giant snake's head. Great fireball technique. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who arrived in time, said nothing and started fighting directly. The huge fireball hit the head of the black giant snake head-on, refining it alive. The 5 ninjas in the sky saw Sarutobi Hiruzen arrive, and their faces changed drastically. Retreat first. The leading ninja did not hesitate at all. When the voice fell, he raised his hand and hundreds of detonating talismans were thrown down. After all, it would be a waste of life to fight Sarutobi Hiruzen head-on. Detonating talismans were flying all over the sky. Sarutobi Hiruzen waved his wide sleeves expressionlessly, and immediately pulled out a huge earth wall from the ground to block all the detonating talismans. Boom boom boom. After the explosion, the 5 invading people had already fled far away. Swish swish swish. After a while, a burst of wind broke, and several Anbu ninjas wearing fox masks had chased after them. Come with me. Sarutobi Hiruzen turned and looked at Tianming, his eyes softened. In the Hokage's office, Tianming was arranged on a chair. In order to calm his emotions, Sarutobi Hiruzen specially made him a cup of green tea. You should be the child of the Qingchuan family. Sarutobi Hiruzen flipped through the information of the war orphans and said, in the previous records, you couldn't sense chakra, but the strong chakra just now did come from your body. Tianming tightened his hand holding the teacup, and his heart was hanging. It was not surprising that Sarutobi Hiruzen could sense the release of extreme chakra. You don't have to be too anxious. You should be one of the few special people, like the naughty Naruto and Sasuke who are your age. Seeing Tianming's anxiety, Sarutobi Hiruzen comforted him. Naruto. The life story of the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki and Sasuke is not a secret. After all, the survivors of the Uchiha family and the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki are very popular, although the former relies on liveliness and the latter relies on strength. Grandpa Hokage, can you keep it a secret for me? Tianming took a sip of tea and asked tentatively. Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled and said, of course, but you have to agree to one condition of mine. Don't use your abilities too much before becoming a ninja. The old man was very angry, and the old man was very angry. Sarutobi Hiruzen is a very respected Hokage in the history of Konoha. The Konoha village guarded by him basically reached the level of the first ninja village, and even the Land of Fire also stood out. Such a person is ruthless to the outside world, but very kind to the inside. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not embarrass Tianming, but told Tianming some truths, and also settled the enrollment. At a certain age, ninjas will be sent to ninja schools to study. After graduating from ninja schools, they will become genin. But Tianming could not feel chakra, so he spent a few years in a daze, and he did not even register for ninja school. Although Tianming knew that Shaoli also relied on physical skills instead of ninjutsu, Shaoli's ninjutsu was just not the right way, which was different from his zero chakra. In addition, Shaoli had received the true teachings of Kai, and he would be the best in physical skills in the future. Lying on the big bed of Qingchuan's house, Tianming looked at the ceiling. The new school year of the ninja school will start tomorrow, and he can join the 7th class because of the arrangement of the Hokage. This is exciting. The protagonist group of the 7th class is configured, the instructor Hitaki is 50-50, and the students are the 2 strongest ninjas in the future and a super-powered girl Haruno Sakura. If Tianming can become the 4th person, he can basically walk sideways in the ninja world. I'm a little looking forward to it. Although he has met a few of the 12 little strongmen of Konoha, Tianming has basically never communicated with others. The only good friend he can be considered is Shaoli, who practices physical skills with him. No matter, there will be a way when the car reaches the mountain. Tianming muttered and began to sleep. Now the golden finger is in the account, and the chakra is fully equipped. And the curtain of everything is opened. There was no conversation that night. Tianming got up early the next day and left Qingchuan's house after washing up. Soon after leaving the house, Tianming heard the noise of the grove nearby. You useless idiot. I'll teach you how to mind your own business. You monster, do you want to be a hero and save the beauty? You dare to hinder us, you're asking for a fight. Several children punched and kicked the people on the ground while cursing. You guys, what's the point of bullying girls? Do you think I, Uzumaki Naruto, am afraid? The one who was beaten was naturally the prince. Naruto was also miserable. Minato Namikaze died in Konoha in the 48th year. For the safety of the village, he finally sealed the 9 tails in Naruto's body. It was thought that Konoha village would take good care of Naruto, but Naruto was bullied as a monster since he was a child. You still dare to be stubborn. The leading little fat man rolled up his sleeves, and gathered a trace of chakra in his palm. Let me show you what ninjutsu is. Stop it. At this moment, a scolding sounded, and then a stone hit the little fat man's calf. Wow. The little fat man fell flat on his face. Who is it? Several younger brothers helped the little fat man up, and the little fat man said angrily, do you want to meddle in other people's business too? Do you think you can interfere in my affairs? Tianming's mouth twitched. This kid only gained weight but not brains. I don't want to interfere either, but you so many people bullying one person, is this reasonable? Tianming said righteously. It's true that he couldn't stand it, and it's also true that he wanted to take the opportunity to build a good relationship with Naruto. You are in the same group as that shitty Naruto. The little fat man clenched his fist and suddenly said, since you are in the same group as that shitty Naruto, then you are also a war orphan, a parentless person. Ha ha ha, if you have no parents, you are a fool. Several people laughed strangely. Tianming's face became gloomy. Although he had no impression of Qingchuan Dawei, he, Li Tianming, was indeed a descendant of the Qingchuan family, and he relied on the Qingchuan family's pension for his food, drink, and defecation for 12 years. So insulting the Qingchuan family is also insulting him. Stop talking nonsense, fight if you want. Naruto jumped up from the ground immediately, and the person he protected was Hinata Hyuga. Don't fight. Hinata is a gentle girl. But Naruto, whose eyes were already red, had already rushed up. It's no use for you to apologize now. Tianming said lightly, and then he threw a handful of stones. I can't use the same move twice. The little fat man evaded the stones flexibly and rushed forward. But he didn't know what they were facing. The little fat man released his poor ninjutsu, and Tianming was bounced away without being able to get close. As for fighting, Tianming's physical skills were not practiced in vain. After a while, the little fat man was beaten. The man ran away with his nose and eyes swollen, while Naruto was also chasing and beating people. Wait for you. The little fat man said something indifferent and took the lead to leave the scene. I'll wait for you, Naruto said with a PFFT sound, then turned around and said, thank you for your help, my name is Uzumaki Naruto, what's your name? Qingchuan Tianming. Tianming stretched out his hand. Uzumaki Naruto was stunned for a moment, then he also stretched out his hand, I'll treat you to Ichiraku ramen. The old man was very happy. Ichiraku ramen, Uzumaki Naruto led Tianming to open the curtain very familiarly, and said, Uncle, 3 bowls of Ichiraku ramen. Naruto, kid, are they your friends? The squinting uncle responded and started to cook noodles. I guess so. Naruto scratched the back of his head and said, Uncle, can I buy on credit? I'll give it to you at the end of the month. The uncle's hand making ramen did not pause at all, no problem. How about I give it to you? Hinata said softly. Compared with the war orphans, the Hyuga family is a big family, and Hinata is also a small rich woman. How can a man let a girl pay? No, no. Naruto refused. Don't worry, sometimes I will deliver newspapers and milk to everyone, I will have money. Hinata, we have to trust Naruto. Hinata wanted to speak, but was persuaded by Tianming. Uzumaki Naruto is a very sentimental person, and such people are just the right people to be close friends. Tianming makes sense. Uzumaki Naruto said, taking the ramen and placing it in front of the two. Ichiraku ramen is the most delicious food I have ever eaten, try it, especially the soup is a must. Without Naruto's introduction, Tianming also got started directly. After all, he was also very curious about this Otsutsuki Ichiraku ramen shop when he watched the animation in his previous life. I'm starting. Naruto separated his chopsticks, prayed, and then started eating in a whirlwind. Tianming and Naruto, like the competition, buried their faces in the bowl and snorted happily, while Hinata seemed much more gentle. 3 minutes later, Tianming and Naruto finished a whole bowl of ramen almost at the same time. Uncle, thank you for your hospitality. After eating and drinking, the 3 left Ichiraku ramen and headed for the ninja school. Tianming, you are so powerful, why do I feel like I have never seen you in school? Along the way, Uzumaki Naruto has become familiar with Tianming. Because it's my first time to go to school. Tianming replied. First time. Uzumaki Naruto was obviously a little bit unbelievable. After all, Tianming's beating of Kamita just now was still vivid in his mind. His Naruto's control of chakra was also very poor. He made a shadow clone technique, but the clone was only a half-dead existence, and the title of the last place was confirmed. Because I couldn't feel chakra before, naturally I couldn't enter the ninja school. Tianming didn't hide anything. What? Uzumaki Naruto was shocked, and then patted his head and said, I remember, you are the iron waste in their mouths, saying that you can't feel chakra in your life. I remember you have a good relationship with Shaoli. Can't sense chakra, Tianming must have a hard time. Hinata couldn't feel the situation of the two. After all, the Hyuga family is like an aristocratic existence, especially Hinata who has opened the Byakugan, that is even more superior. It's okay. Tianming was not bullied. The children in the ninja school didn't know many ninjutsu, and the release of chakra was not fully mastered, so Tianming could just rush in even if he was fighting. Ding! The task is activated. Please go to the ninja school to sign in for the task within the time limit. Sign in and get a system reward. The voice of the system in my mind sounded silently. Ninja school. Just on the way. Tianming, what's wrong with you? Looking at Tianming who was absent-minded, Hinata couldn't help but care. I'm fine, I just think if we don't speed up, we might be late. The three of them trotted all the way to the ninja school. It was the beginning of the new school year, and there were many parents at the school gate to send their children to school. Naruto, Hinata, you go in first. Tianming stopped at the school gate. Okay. Uzumaki Naruto didn't ask much, but after running a few steps, he suddenly turned back and said, Tianming, you are one of the few friends of Uzumaki Naruto, and we are also war orphans. Don't worry, I will protect you if you encounter difficulties in school. Tianming smiled back. Naruto may have misunderstood Tianming. He thought Tianming had to start from the first grade, but he only thought that Tianming was a junior. But having said that, it still feels good. Naruto is such a person, warm-hearted. Arrived at the sign-in location, start the sign-in mission. 10 seconds left, quitting the mission midway will fail. Successful sign-in, reward, Shuriken release mastery. 10 seconds passed in the blink of an eye, and when Tianming opened his eyes again, he had completely mastered the use of long-range offensive ninja tools such as Shuriken and kunai darts. After sorting out his mood, Tianming walked into the ninja. Go to the principal's office at the school. After entering the principal's office, the process was not complicated. After all, Sarutobi Hiruzen had already greeted him. Are you Qingchuan Tianming? The big-bellied principal glanced at Tianming and looked at the information before saying to the door, Teacher Uruka, please come over. Principal, you are looking for me. Not long after, a figure appeared at the door. The person had a deep scar on his nose, but there was always a smile on his face that made people feel like spring breeze. Tianming also secretly looked at Uruka, Naruto's first mentor, who was not much different from the anime. This is Qingchuan Tianming, the transfer student who was personally ordered by the Hokage. Aren't you going to the classroom? Take him there by the way. Transfer student. Principal, does the ninja school have such a rule? Uruka asked puzzledly. There is no way. The order was issued by the Hokage's office. There was only one sentence in the order. It might be a special existence like Naruto. Naruto. Uruka was stunned. I know. On the way from the principal's office to the classroom, Uruka would look at Tianming from time to time. Finally, Tianming stopped and said calmly, Teacher Uruka, do you have something to say? Ah. Uruka didn't expect that a child could see through him, so he could only admit, Teacher Uruka wants to ask you for something. What is it? Tianming asked. Be friends with Naruto. I can see that you are a mature child, but Naruto is too nervous and has few friends, so you try to make friends. He is really a good person. Tianming didn't expect that Uruka's request was this. He is really worthy of being Uruka. I am already friends with Naruto. At the same time, the classroom was overcrowded. The start of the new school year means that students will be divided into classes. Each class has an average of 3 people, and each class has a powerful ninja as a teacher. After the division of classes, they will learn stronger ninjutsu. Perform some tasks to pave the way for becoming a genin. What? I'm going to be in the same class with this faceless guy. I don't want it. Who wants to be with the last one? I refuse. What did you say, you Sasuke? Stop arguing. The classroom was already in chaos. The class division had just ended, and the popular Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke were assigned to the 7th class after kissing in public, and then they exploded. Both of them were unhappy with each other. On the podium, Hitaki Kakashi, who was in charge of the 7th class, looked confused. Instead of stopping him, he took out the Intimate Paradise and started reading it. Teacher Kakashi, will Naruto and Sasuke fight? Then fight. Teacher Kakashi, stop them. There's no need. Just when the classroom was filled with gunpowder, a voice of disappointment suddenly sounded at the door. Naruto, what are you doing? Hearing this voice, the originally arrogant Naruto instantly became frustrated. Teacher Iruka. Teacher Iruka, is there something wrong? Hitaki Kakashi asked after closing the book. Teacher Kakashi, it's like this, the person next to me is a transfer student assigned by the Hokage, and he said he was assigned to the 7th team led by you, so I brought him here. Teacher Iruka said. Got it. Hitaki Kakashi nodded and glanced at Tianming. Just find a seat and sit down. Tianming immediately walked towards the crowd. Tianming, this way. Naruto was surprised to see Tianming appear, and waved his arms quickly. Tianming naturally sat over. When he came up to him, he noticed Uchiha Sasuke's unfriendly eyes. I can't refuse you to join Team 7, but I want to reiterate that I don't like being held back. After saying that, Sasuke sat directly by the window. Asshole Sasuke. Naruto's teeth clenched. Naruto, don't be angry. Tianming smiled and said, Sasuke is right. It's really annoying to be held back. Let's not talk about that expressionless face. Why did you come to join the class? Naruto made room for Tianming and asked impatiently. When this question was asked, it was obvious that Haruno Sakura and other people who were not in the situation also pricked up their ears. After all, Tianming was a new face and had never appeared in the school, and people who skipped the first year and directly entered the second year to join the class were unheard of. Didn't Teacher Iruka just say? Is it clear? Assignment from the Hokage's office. Tianming said lightly. This answer confused others, but Uchiha Sasuke at the window had a slight reaction. Okay, that's all the precautions. Everyone in Team 7, follow me, and the rest of you can find your own teacher. At this time, Hitaki Kakashi on the podium left a word and walked out the door. Only the classroom was left confused. Did Kakashi announce anything just now? The teacher said that the teacher was very careful. In fact, it was Hitaki Kakashi who forgot the precautions. The class division was over, and the people who had studied together for a year were about to separate. Uchiha Sasuke left his seat and was the first to walk out of the classroom. Sasuke waited for me. Haruno Sakura also followed immediately. Naruto, let's go too. Tianming said. Okay. The two also left the classroom. After leaving the ninja school, the team scattered, and each class had a different gathering place. When Tianming and Naruto came to the gathering place of Team 7, Uchiha Sasuke and Haruno Sakura had already arrived. Sasuke has always been a king of pressure template, holding his arms and looking forward, and Haruno Sakura, as a fangirl, would peek at Sasuke from time to time. As for Hitaki Kakashi, Kakashi yawned and jumped down from the tree and said, Are you all here? Very good. For the first gathering of Team 7, all 4 of you got 0 points. Ah. Teacher Kakashi, are you kidding? Naruto opened his mouth wide. Do you think my expression looks like a joke? Hitaki Kakashi said seriously. Naruto wanted to say, I can't see your expression either, but I shut up because I was afraid of getting beaten. After scolding Naruto, Hitaki Kakashi turned his gaze to Uchiha Sasuke and said, I sentenced you to 0 points. Do you disagree? I disagree. Uchiha Sasuke said coldly. Oh. Hitaki Kakashi said in a playful tone, why don't you agree? Just now, Teacher Kakashi said that I was the first person to come here after the class gathered. I was not late, so even if I was punished, I would never be with the last one. Uchiha Sasuke rarely said more. So that's how it is. If you think so, then I'm right to sentence you to 0 points. Hitaki Kakashi smacked his lips and then turned to look at Naruto and Tianming and said, You two latecomers, do you accept it? I accept it. Naruto said quickly. What about you? It was obvious that he was asking Tianming. Teacher Kakashi has his own assessment standards. It's our problem that we failed, not the teacher's problem or the rules. Tianming answered ambiguously. Aoki Tenming, that's interesting. Hitaki Kakashi was a little surprised. This kid was actually very calm and spoke in a set way. The implication of his answer just now was that you sentenced me to 0 points, but I have to take the test again. Let's not waste any more nonsense and get started. Hitaki Kakashi was tightening up and took out a bell from his trouser pocket and said. After the division, you will be real genin, so ninjas must act in a ninja way. A class as a whole. In the future, the members of the team are like companions and family members. So Uzumaki Naruto and Qingchuan Tianming are late, and all of you will fail. Of course I am different from other teachers. Do you see the bell in my hand? If any one of you touches it, I will let you all pass. After the voice fell, several children were a little shocked. Tianming was quite calm. Kakashi's way was just to illustrate teamwork. Teacher Kakashi, are there any restrictions? Uchiha Sasuke suddenly asked. No restrictions on methods, no restrictions on ninjutsu. Hitaki Kakashi said. The moment he got the answer, Uchiha Sasuke instantly disappeared from the spot, and appeared behind Hitaki Kakashi in the blink of an eye, and quickly formed a seal. Great Fireball Jutsu. Burning. Uchiha Sasuke blew hard, and a hot fireball was instantly swallowed and spit out. Then he took out the shuriken and threw it out. This set of combined punches directly stunned Naruto, and Haruno Sakura's eyes were full of stars. It must be said that Uchiha Sasuke is an inspirational template. His clan was exterminated in childhood, and he became the first among his peers with a blood feud. This is evident. Tianming stood aside with an indifferent look. Sasuke's fireball technique combined with shuriken seemed to be a fierce attack, but it actually had little effect. It's still a little bit short. Hitaki Kakashi walked out from behind a tree and said. As for the place where he just stood, there was only a piece of charred wood. Substitution technique. Uchiha Sasuke was excited. He really underestimated it. You guys come on too. Hitaki Kakashi hooked his finger at the three people. Shadow clone technique. Naruto summoned 3 or 5 clones to attack head-on without saying a word. Haruno Sakura was the assistant. The battle ended quickly. Hitaki Kakashi didn't even move a few times before he dispersed Naruto's clones and pinned down Naruto's real body. Fell to the ground, and all of Haruno Sakura's shurikens were caught with one hand. Why didn't you make a move? Hitaki Kakashi asked Tianming. Tianming scratched his head and said, because I didn't know any ninjutsu before I entered school, but now I know it. After that, Tianming quickly formed seals with both hands, and the chakra in his body circulated rapidly. Shadow clone technique. Boom boom boom. The next moment, the sound of smoke resounded, and dense clones instantly filled the forest. A rough look at the clones is 100. The old man was so angry that he was beaten. What is the concept of 100 shadow clones? Not to mention Hitaki Kakashi, even Naruto was dumbfounded. Shadow clone technique is Naruto's most proud ninjutsu, and he practiced it for a long time before it had some effect. But Qingchuan Tianming can learn it after watching it once. Uchiha Sasuke's face changed drastically. He didn't expect this sudden transfer student to be so strong. Hitaki Kakashi was also stunned for a moment and then slowly said, Ah, so you are the child with the ultimate chakra in the rumor. You learned the shadow clone technique in an instant and summoned 100 shadow clones. It's a bit of a headache. Hitaki Kakashi was not afraid. He took it seriously and took out the shuriken he had just seized and started to attack. Hitaki Kakashi was like a gust of wind passing through the battlefield. When the shuriken flew, the shadow clones were completely broken up one after another. 1v100, that's how confident. Tianming, who was deep in the back, controlled the shadow clones to encircle and suppress Hitaki Kakashi in waves. The 3 people on the side could only be stunned by such a battle. Tianming watched Hitaki Kakashi rush forward in a way that almost broke through the encirclement and was not too panicked. Qingchuan Tianming, do you have any other ninjutsu? Hitaki Kakashi smiled, holding the shuriken in his hand and fighting the shadow clones. Teacher Kakashi can try. Tianming kept it a secret. Then I'll test your level. Hitaki Kakashi stopped and threw the shuriken. The chakra burst out from his palm and formed a series of lightning. Crack, crack. The lightning gathered in the palm of Hitaki Kakashi's palm and exuded a domineering aura. Even the sky was a little darker. Reikiri. Tianming's eyes were shocked and he saw this ninjutsu of Hitaki Kakashi. Reikiri is a ninjutsu that Hitaki Kakashi likes to use. Later, Sasuke learned and developed Chidori and Kirin. Don't be afraid, I only used 3/10 of my strength. After saying this, Hitaki Kakashi stabbed straight out and threw out Reikiri with one hand, like a lightning spear that directly penetrated the shadow clone in front. After a breath, Hitaki Kakashi had completely eliminated the shadow clone in front. Only 10 of the 100 shadow clones were left. Qingchuan Tianming, why don't you make a move? Hitaki Kakashi approached Tianming step by step, and the lightning in his palm roared again. Then it's as you wish. Tianming formed a new seal again. Great Fireball Technique. At the same time as Tianming moved, the remaining 10 shadow clones formed seals and released the Great Fireball Technique simultaneously. 11 huge fireballs covered the sky and enveloped Hitaki Kakashi, even burning half of the forest. Boom. Soon after the flames shot up into the sky, the domineering lightning defeated the flames. In the middle of the forest, Tianming and Hitaki Kakashi stood facing each other. Hitaki Kakashi was no longer cool now, his whole face was covered with dirt and even his clothes had several big holes. I lost. Hitaki Kakashi suddenly said. The three people watching the battle woke up as if from a dream. Lost. Teacher Kakashi lost. No, we won. How did we win? Hitaki Kakashi smiled and stretched out his hand to punch Tianming on the opposite side. The moment his fist hit Tianming, it turned into wood with a bang. At this time, Tianming also came out from behind the stone with a bell in his hand. Seeing this, everyone took a breath of cold air. What kind of monster is this? In the short confrontation, Tianming fired 3 ninjutsu in a row. Whether it is the shadow clone technique, the fireball technique or the substitute technique, they are all too sophisticated. The most surprising thing was Tianming's fighting consciousness. 100 shadow clones pressed the formation and asked Hitaki Kakashi to attack. When he was about to defeat the 100 shadow clones, the remaining clones launched the Great Fireball technique. It was impossible to dodge at such a distance, and even the one who had been in the back was not the real body. It seems that Konoha has produced another genius ninja. Hitaki Kakashi patted Tianming on the shoulder. Qingchuan Tianming, you did a good job, you all passed. Wow. Congratulations Tianming. Naruto ran over and bumped fists with Tianming. Uchiha Sasuke sighed, and then left the place without saying a word. So far, the first assembly of Team 7 has ended. And because of this, a series of events after Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke have deviated. When the sun sets and Tianming returns to Qingchuan's house, it is not early. After working for a long time, he makes a plan for himself as soon as he gets home. He had a big meal, and then reviewed today's battle with Hitaki Kakashi while eating. Tianming didn't lie, he really didn't know any ninjutsu before the 3 members of Team 7 started fighting. After they started fighting, whether it was Naruto's shadow clone technique, Sasuke's great fireball technique, or Kakashi's substitute technique. He took a quick glance and instantly understood the seals of each technique, and how their chakra operated when they fired the technique. Plus his extreme chakra storage. So he directly copied the 3 ninjutsu. The old man was so angry that he was beaten. Copy. Tianming couldn't help but laugh when he thought of this. Kakashi's Sharingan can also copy ninjutsu, but his own can be regarded as a different kind of copy. The Sharingan relies on the ability of blood limit, but Tianming relies on seeing through all the details of a jutsu at a glance, and then simulates it with extreme chakra. After dinner, Tianming couldn't help but recall the scene of Kakashi releasing Reikiri while taking a bath. Reikiri. All the information about Reikiri and the way chakra works instantly appeared in Tianming's mind. This is quite amazing. Tianming was overjoyed. How different is this from copying ninjutsu? After washing the dishes, Tianming was about to go out to find a place to try Reikiri, but as soon as he went out, he saw a special person in the yard. Sasuke. Tianming was stunned. How did Sasuke find Qingchuan's house? Uchiha Sasuke crossed his arms and said lightly, Qingchuan Tianming, let's compete. The reason why Sasuke came to Tianming was very simple, just to compete. Why did you come to me to fight? Tianming was a little puzzled. Because you are strong enough, I saw all the fights between you and Kakashi, and your strength is above mine. Uchiha Sasuke said directly, that's why I want to fight you even more. Only by fighting with the strong can I temper myself. Tianming waved his hand and said, stop, don't talk to yourself, who wants to fight with you? I agreed. If you really want to fight, find someone else. Qingchuan Tianming, I don't mean to discuss with you. Uchiha Sasuke said and took out the shuriken, if you choose to fight here, I will not be responsible if the house is demolished. Second pillar, you are a bit annoying. Tianming was a little unhappy. Although Sasuke has always been arrogant, this is too arrogant, right? If you don't want your house to be demolished, fight me. Uchiha Sasuke didn't bother about what the second pillar that came out of Tianming's mouth meant. I'm convinced. Let's go to another place. Tianming sighed and could only accept Sasuke's challenge. This guy was so stubborn that he had to be tempered. After the two left Qingquan's house, in the alley next to them, a few sharp-nosed and monkey-faced people laughed and said, "Finally, we've found it. Let's go and inform Brother Kamita." The residential area for war orphans is separated from the ordinary residential area. Of course, because water and electricity are free and rent is not paid, the facilities here have always been in a state of disrepair. In an open space somewhere, Tianming and Uchiha Sasuke came here. Let's do it here, Tianming said. This place is relatively hidden and empty. Uchiha Sasuke took the offensive without saying a word. Just when the battle was about to break out, a group of uninvited guests surrounded him from the side. Isn't this Qingquan Tianming? We meet again. The fat little Kamita was leaking when he spoke, but he brought more people than in the morning, which gave him confidence. Are you here to cause trouble? Tianming said calmly. He wants to fight me too, and you want to fight me too, why don't you make a decision first? Uchiha Sasuke frowned. Get out of here. 3 simple words, but they have extraordinary lethality. Who are you? Kamita shouted with his neck stiff. Uchiha Sasuke. Uchiha Sasuke turned around and glanced at everyone with indifferent eyes, so why don't you get out? Kamita was frightened, and just as he was about to continue to harass, a younger brother beside him pulled him back. Brother Kamita, the Uchiha clan is not to be trifled with. Why not? Because that is a family with Sharingan. Sharingan. Kamita's eyes were shocked, and he turned around and ran away without saying a word. Just kidding, although he is arrogant, he is not brainless. Sharingan is a very powerful bloodline limit. People with bloodline limits are generally stronger than their peers, and Uchiha Sasuke is still the most famous one. The fly is gone, let's continue. Uchiha Sasuke turned around as if he had dealt with a trivial matter. Go ahead. Tianming hooked his finger. The next moment, Uchiha Sasuke disappeared from the spot and approached Tianming in an instant, with the shuriken in his hand attacking from top to bottom. Close combat. Tianming was a little surprised that Sasuke did not use jutsu or long-range attacks, but actually played close combat. Your ability is reflected in the amazing chakra storage and amazing learning ability. Considering that you and Kakashi teacher used the substitute jutsu in the end, your close combat should not be good. Uchiha Sasuke said while paying attention to Tianming's every move. Using your own strengths to attack Uchiha Sasuke's weaknesses is a very good tactic. Not good at close combat. Sasuke, you are too confident. Tianming laughed out loud. He had been a useless guy for 12 years and was not good at anything except physical skills. Swish. Just when the shuriken was about to touch Tianming, Tianming made a lightning move and blocked Uchiha Sasuke's attack with just 2 fingers. Boom. Then Tianming kicked Uchiha Sasuke in the stomach and repelled him. Sasuke, is this your strength? The two of them were so strong that they had to fight. Impossible. Uchiha Sasuke's eyes widened. He had expected the gap between himself and Tianming, but he didn't expect it to be so fast. He had no power to fight back. Why are you so strong? Uchiha Sasuke also saw the gap between himself and Tianming. No, the gap between Tianming and his peers. Such a faint sense of oppression. Only that man made him feel it. Strong. Tianming touched his chin. In order to survive in the ninja world, he tried his best to practice every day. Although he still couldn't feel chakra, his physical skills improved over time. It should be accumulation. Then let's stop here, Tianming suggested. It's far from over. Uchiha Sasuke shook his head and quickly formed a seal, shadow clone technique. In the next sequence, Sasuke's 2 shadow clones appeared not far behind Tianming and fired a bunch of shurikens without saying a word. Tianming stomped his feet, and the chakra in his body was released to block the shurikens directly outside. Great fireball technique. Uchiha Sasuke in front blew out in one breath, and the hot fireball attacked head-on. Uchiha Sasuke's combination punches still made people feel very eye-catching. But it was useless. Reikiri. Tianming stretched out his hand, turned his fist into a palm, and the lightning gathered in the palm of his palm and everything in an instant. The great fireball that came close to him was split in half and flew into the air. And the remaining lightning also surrounded Uchiha Sasuke's figure in an instant. In the end, Uchiha Sasuke stopped attacking because it didn't make much sense. The lightning has surrounded him, and Tianming can electrocute people at any time if he wants. Let's stop here. Uchiha Sasuke said lightly. I admit that you are better than the last one. It shouldn't be a bad thing to be a companion with someone like you. After saying that, Uchiha Sasuke turned and left. Tianming looked at Sasuke's back and really didn't know what to say. This guy really has all the conditions to become a strong man. In the alley next to him, Kamita and his little follower witnessed the fight between the two. At this time, Kamita felt extremely lucky and listened to the advice. Just these two monsters, just go straight and give it up. Brother Kamita, do we still want revenge? Kamita's big face twitched, but in order to maintain the image of the big brother, he still snorted coldly. Let them be arrogant for a while, I will make them beg for mercy sooner or later. Joining Team 7, Tianming's life has become richer. Hitaki Kakashi's teaching is very easy. As long as you complete the target, he won't even care what you do. In the half-months since the formation of the class, Hitaki Kakashi took the 4 people to travel all over the big and small places in Konoha village. They also took on many tasks. But the tasks were helpless, nothing more than digging fields and planting, chopping wood and looking for dogs. More than a month passed like this, and the 7th team gathered by the small river outside Konoha village. Teacher Kakashi, is there any task today that requires a big fight? Uzumaki Naruto's complaining voice sounded from a long distance. Although Haruno Sakura didn't say anything, her little face was also very puzzled. Uchiha Sasuke and Tianming followed behind without saying a word. Today's task is very important, Hitaki Kakashi smiled and said, have you brought all the equipment? Yes. The 4 said in unison. That's good. Hitaki Kakashi also took out his backpack from the side and said, the mission location is Konoha office, let them know that it is a C-level mission. C-level. Teacher Kakashi, you are not kidding us, right? Uzumaki Naruto said in disbelief. In the past month, the missions arranged by Hitaki Kakashi were exaggerated before execution, and after execution, they were called to cultivate team tacit understanding. It is not surprising that Uzumaki Naruto reacted so strongly this time. After all, C-level missions are serious missions for genin, and they need to leave the village. When Tianming in the back heard Hitaki Kakashi say C-level, he understood it instantly. It turned out that it was time for the land of waves. Ding. Mission activated, please go to Wave Country to sign in. Complete the sign in and get the mission reward. Absolutely true. Hitaki Kakashi clapped his hands and said, stop talking nonsense, let's go to the Hokage's office. After a while, a group of 5 people arrived at the Hokage's office. In the office, there were already quite a few people, except for the 3rd generation Hokage ape. In addition to Hiruzen, there were several high-ranking officials of Konoha. Teacher Kakashi, you are here. Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled and glanced at the 4 children behind Hitaki Kakashi kindly. Hokage, Hitaki Kakashi can accept the mission. Hitaki Kakashi said lightly. Hey, aren't all the Konoha ninjas recognized as the strongest by the 5 major countries, but it's okay to send a few crappy ninjas. At this time, an old man holding a shochu and smelling of alcohol spoke up. Bad ninja. Naruto Uzumaki quit immediately after hearing this. You drunkard, what right do you have to say we are lame? Naruto, don't be rude. Hitaki Kakashi gently scolded. As a qualified ninja, you should not speak rudely to the mission client. Sarutobi Hiruzen's expression did not change much, instead he smiled and said, Teacher Kakashi, it's rare that Naruto listens to you so much. 3rd generation, let's talk at another time. Hitaki Kakashi he looked at the drunkard again. I am also curious about what kind of employers hire crappy ninjas. This is Mr. Dasna, please see the detailed information. The ninja assistant on the side handed it over. A stack of information. 5 copies of the information, 1 for each person. Tianming took the information, glanced at it quickly, and returned it. The information on it was not much different from the original. Dasna, the famous bridge builder in the Land of Waves. After completing the project in Konoha, he will return to the Land of Waves, but on the way, evil forces from the Land of Waves will come to hunt him down. That's why he hired Konoha ninjas to protect him as he went to the Land of Waves. You are Dasna. Hitaki Kakashi also collected the information and said, Team 7 has accepted this C-rank mission. Dasna, is that so great? Isn't he just a drunkard? The thick-skinned Uzumaki Naruto was still entangled in what Dasna said about the crappy ninja. Naruto, you are an idiot. Master Dasna is a famous bridge builder. Many of Yi's bridges were built by him. With bridges, life in the village will be more convenient. Haruno Sakura held her forehead. Naruto's ability to understand is indeed beyond expectation. So that's how it is. Uzumaki Naruto realized it later. Dasna took another sip of wine and said directly to the Sandaime Hokage, Hokage, I think I told you about the situation in Wave Country. There is a bully there who will not stop until he gets rid of me. Can someone with poor eyesight and 3 children do it? Quote. The ninjas of Konoha village are recognized to be strong, but the combination of Team 7 is indeed not very convincing. Master Dasna, the problem is not with us crappy ninjas. It's with your budget. Tianming suddenly said, the budget you gave is only enough for Genin. You little brat. Dasna he looked back at Tianming and said, does the price I offer have a direct relationship with your strength? Or do you think you can't complete such a task and want to back down? On the contrary. Tianming smiled and said, you just use the least of money to hire the strongest ninja in Konoha. Tianming's words confused everyone present. Is this just a boast? It's incomprehensible. Dasna and Tianming looked at each other for a few seconds. There was something strange in this child's eyes. There is no sign of lying, but rather a strong sense of self-confidence. Alright, no need to argue. Sarutobi Hiruzen said with finality, Mr. Dishonor used such a small budget because he wanted to save money to build a bridge for Wave Country. We in Konoha also need Dishonor. Mr. S ability has improved significantly. I will never forget this favor, so for this C-level mission, I actually found 2 teams of ninjas. After Sarutobi Hiruzen finished speaking, everyone present not surprised. Even the calm Tianming was confused. Are the 2 teams serious about carrying out the mission of Wave Country? Come in. Sarutobi Hiruzen said to the door, and soon a beautiful woman full of mature aura came in. The woman appeared at the door, and behind her were 3 class members. Yuhi Kurenai. Hitaki Kakashi also did not receive any cooperation notice. Kakashi, I didn't expect it to be with your class 7 partner. Yuhiko Kurenai also greeted. Tianming's expression changed slightly. Team 8, Hinata Hyuga, Kiba Inuzuka, Shino Aburame. Typical supporting roles. Although he didn't quite understand why the mission in Wave Country had changed, it wasn't something Tianming should be concerned about. He only needed to pay attention to the sign-in mission. Tianming, Naruto. Hinata Hyuga waved over here. Tianming with a smile in return. Uzumaki Naruto also said hello. Now everyone is here. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Dasna and said, there will be no problem now. Then thank you Sandaime first. Although Dasna drank, he was not stupid. He spent very little money and got the protection of 6 genin. Konoha had done its best. Then you can start your mission. Hiruzen said, the mission begins immediately. After leaving the Hokage's office, Team 7, Team 8, and Dasna left Konoha village. On the 3rd day after leaving the village and heading east, the group arrived at a hot spring town. On the day of taking a bath in the hot spring town, Konoha sent a pigeon to recall Sunset Red. At this point, Hitaki Kakashi needed someone to lead Team 7 and Team 8 to carry out the mission. The 2 of them were busy, and the 2 of them were busy. Teacher Xianghong was urgently recalled by Konoha last night to perform other tasks, so I will lead the team alone this time. Do you understand? Early in the morning of the next day, when they gathered, Hitaki Kakashi announced the news on the spot. I know. Inuzuka Kiba stroked Akamaru beside him and said uninterestedly. Understood. Aburame Shino was as quiet as ever. We will work hard, Teacher Kakashi. Hyuga Hinata still looked like a little angel. Master Dasna, there are no towns or villages on the way from the hot spring town to the seaside. Those who want to assassinate you will most likely ambush along the way. For safety reasons, please refrain from drinking. Hitaki Kakashi said lightly. Okay, okay. Dazna's hand, which had just grabbed the wine flask, loosened again. It seemed that he could not enjoy the bulk shochu he bought specially because the journey was long. The group left the hot spring town and walked towards the seaside. The land of waves is an island country. You need to take a boat to go anywhere, and the road to the seaside is an uninhabited area. Except for the caravans, almost no one passes through it all year round. The genin, who had gone out of the village so far for the first time, looked around like curious babies. Inuzuka Kiba rode Akamaru and ran in the front. After all, this big dog was very energetic. Aburame Shino sent the insects out to collect pollen. Even Hyuga Hinata was attracted by the lush scenery. On the side of Team 7, Uzumaki Naruto was like a monkey. The remaining Uchiha Sasuke and Qingchuan Tianming were in a different style. Tianming's attention was always scattered around. He was not concerned about the scenery, but the actions around him. Uchiha Sasuke simply thought jumping up and down was boring, but seeing Tianming so serious, he also learned to sense the surroundings. Teacher Kakashi, everyone, please wait a moment. At this time, Aburame Shino suddenly spoke. What's wrong? Everyone stopped and turned around to ask in confusion. Aburame Shino stretched out his hand and snapped his fingers, and the insects he had just released in the woods flew back again. The moisture is wrong. The humidity is wrong. Aburame Shino looked at a bug on his fingertips and said slowly. Shino, are you crazy again? Inuzuka Kiba in front said unhappily. The two have never gotten along well, and Inuzuka Kiba thinks Aburame Shino is a dull guy who plays with disgusting bugs. Shino Aburame ignored Kiba Inuzuka's complaints and approached Kakashi Hitaki and said, Teacher Kakashi, we came here and the plants on both sides of the road were very lush, but the problem is the moisture. Although the plants here are dense, the air is dry. In other words, the environment here cannot allow insects to touch so much water. Shino Aburame pushed her sunglasses and analyzed. Kakashi Hitaki understood instantly and shouted to Kiba Inuzuka in front of him, there is danger. At this time, a series of air-breaking sounds were heard, and dense kunai shurikens shot out from the forest. Before Kiba Inuzuka could react, Akamaru under his crotch kicked his legs and left the attack range. And the place where Akamaru stood just now was full of hidden weapons. Kana Inuzuka, get back behind me. Kakashi Hitaki stepped forward and frowned at the white mist that suddenly condensed in front of him and said seriously, the enemy is coming. Get ready for battle. The 7 genin who received the order took out shurikens from their backpacks and waited for battle. Tianming's eyes moved, and he suddenly wanted to see how Kakashi was cut. Oh my, you were a headache hiding in Konoha, but I didn't expect you to come to the door yourself. The fog in front gradually dissipated, and 4 figures walked out of the fog. The leader held a sickle and mocked. It's a ninja. Dazna panicked all of a sudden. Hitaki Kakashi narrowed his eyes and looked at the 4 figures in the fog and said, look at your appearance, are you a rebel ninja from the Mist Shadow village? Rebel ninja. A topic that all countries cannot avoid. Some ninjas betrayed their own ninja way for their own selfish desires and did evil among the 5 major countries. This is a rebel ninja, and they are regarded as a thorn in the eyes of all ninja villages. Oh, Konoha's Jonin has a good eye. Are you carrying these children to carry out a mission? Or are you going on a spring outing? The Mist Shadow rebel licked his cracked lips, looking like he had everyone ready. Stop looking down on us. We are ninjas too. Uzumaki Naruto said unhappily. You traitors, you will suffer if you look down on us, right Akamaru? Inuzuka Kiba was also furious because he was almost ambushed. Let's get started, then. I'll deal with you so that I can report to the task. The rebel leader gave an order, and the 3 rebel ninjas behind him attacked from different directions. So fast. Hitaki Kakashi said lightly, and 2 iron chains came at an extremely strange angle. Block. Hitaki Kakashi pulled out a shuriken, stuck it in the iron chain like lightning and poked it into the ground. The huge pulling force pulled the 2 mist ninjas over, and at the same time, Hitaki Kakashi kicked them away one by one. You are worthy of being a Konoha Jonin. The 2 were kicked away without any harm, and turned into mist and disappeared again. On the other side, the mist behind the lone Dazna condensed, and a big hand grabbed him out. Catching people in front of me, are you thinking too much? Tianming snorted coldly, and the shuriken in his hand shot out. The two mist ninjas in front of Kakashi Hatake laughed and attacked at the same time. Shuriken burst out, forcing the sneak attacking mist ninja back a few steps. The mist ninja retreated and the blade in his hand struck out and split the shuriken. You are an interesting kid. Dasna. Qingchuan Tianming. Hatake Kakashi said worriedly. You should worry about yourself. The two mist ninjas in front of Hatake Kakashi laughed and attacked at the same time. The attack of the two Chunin should not be underestimated. Tianming. Uzumaki Naruto on the side was about to run over to help. Where are you going? A human figure appeared in the puddle in front of him. Another mist ninja snorted coldly and said to his companion, Are you okay with Dasna and that kid? Of course. The mist ninja opposite Tianming said easily. How difficult is it to deal with a genin? Uchiha Sasuke shouted and was about to break through, but was blocked by the mist ninja in front of him. Are you underestimating me? The four mist ninja rebels who came to ambush Dasna were all at the level of Chunin. From this point, we can see how much their employer wants to kill Dasna. After all, the wave country is an island country, and bridges are the top priority. Controlling bridges is like controlling the entire country. And the best way to control the bridge is to get rid of the bridge builder. Let's go together. Inuzuka Kiba said directly. It seems that he can't let us help Qingchuan Tianming. That's what I mean. Uzumaki Naruto said with a fist. As a supporting role, Hinata Hyuga also opened her Byakugan directly, and the world in front of her changed instantly. The enemy's chakra is quite amazing. Dense insects flew out of Shino Abarame's wide robe. Uchiha Sasuke took a step forward and stood in front with Kiba Inuzuka and Naruto Uzumaki. 5 Genin. It seems that you don't know the difference between Chunin and Genin. The mist ninja who was responsible for dividing the battlefield instantly became interested. I heard that Konoha's ninjas are very strong. I hope you won't let me down. When I knock you down, you won't be able to say sarcastic words. Kiba Inuzuka directly crouched on the ground like a beast. 4 legs technique. Akamaru, it's time to go up. Kiba Inuzuka, who used the 4 legs technique, stabbed out like a sharp sword the moment he finished speaking, and Akamaru followed closely with a howl. Shadow clone technique. Great fireball technique. Naruto Uzumaki and Sasuke Uchiha also started together. Team 7 and Team 8 had never cooperated before, and they were just reckless when they fought. Tianming, who was not far away, watched the battle next to him with some worry. Kid, you should be in the most dangerous situation now. What makes you distracted when facing a Chunin? The long-haired mist ninja laughed grimly, and then the mist instantly came to Tianming's back and slapped him. You are too noisy. Tianming raised his hand and used chakra to push Dasna out of the mist range, and at the same time, he also handed over the shuriken in his hand. Block. The shuriken did not pierce the arm of the long-haired mist ninja, but was completely clamped by his chakra. Shadow clone technique. Tianming murmured, and saw dozens of clones appear around the mist ninja and attack at the same time. Instant ninjutsu. The long-haired mist ninja had to pull back. It was obvious that Tianming's counterattack made him quite afraid. Whether it was the use of chakra just now, the reaction speed of physical skills, and the shadow clones, they were all shocking. Are you talking so much nonsense? Tianming said coldly. Interesting, it seems that you are the strongest among the genin of Konoha this time, but I still need to tell you the gap between Chunin and genin. The long-haired mist ninja laughed wildly and took out the scroll behind him. The scroll was opened, and the seal was released. The ninja tools in the sky instantly emerged from the scroll and then burst out. The ninja tool scroll has extremely strong lethality. It seals a certain part of the ninja tools in the scroll, which is a very vicious killing move. At this critical moment, Tianming did not feel a sense of crisis. He also looked at the situation on Naruto's side. As expected, the two classes of genin who had no cooperation were still no match for the Chunin. Not only did they not get an advantage, but they also fell into a disadvantage. You despised me for the second time. Die. The long-haired mist ninja who was ignored again was furious. He took out a big knife and appeared behind Tianming and chopped his head down. Tianming turned his eyes back, and the ninja tool burst and the Chunin backstab attacked at the same time. Reikiri. At the critical moment, a strong flash of lightning roared out and cut through battlefield. In a flash, a huge amount of lightning chakra directly penetrated the chest of the long-haired Chunin. Puff! The densely packed ninja tools naturally pierced his body. The change here directly affected the battle between Kakashi and the two classes. What? The first to react were the two mist ninjas who besieged Hitaki Kakashi. They worked together to contain Hitaki Kakashi. It was only a matter of time to kill him, but at this moment, the companion who was responsible for killing Dazna was killed instantly. The two of them were killed in a flash, and the two of them were killed in a flash. Instantaneous, this is outrageous. Qingchuan Tianming. The battle over there naturally affected the 6 people in Team 7 and Team 8. Inuzuka Kiba and Akamaru were blown away again, the great fireball technique was resisted again, and Uzumaki Naruto's shadow clone was directly given away. The 6 of them could not do anything to the enemy together. The companion died, and the remaining 3 mist ninjas also put away their thoughts of playing. You're in the way. The fatter mist ninja shouted angrily, and then rushed towards the 6 people. Boom boom. The grass and trees along the way were directly crushed by the violent chakra, and the 3 boys naturally did not dare to get close. Mist technique. The mist ninja quickly formed a seal, and saw the white mist rising up, twisting and turning into chains to attack the 6 people. The mist chain was not afraid of fire or shuriken, and it bound the 6 people like lightning. After trapping the 6 people, the mist ninja raised his eyes to Tianming, raised the big knife in his hand and aimed at Hinata Hyuga and Sakura Haruno. Little brat over there, I want you to kill Dazna, otherwise I will kill your companions. Dead fat pig. If you are a man, don't make things difficult for girls. Come at me. Uzumaki Naruto shouted. If you have the guts, let me go, and fight again. Inuzuka Kiba also expressed his attitude. Fight to the death with you. Aburame Shino also said. Shut up. The mist ninja roared. I don't want to repeat my words for the 3rd time, kill Dazna, or I will kill your companions. Puff, is this the famous mist ninja? Tianming suddenly laughed. A Chunin uses such a despicable method to beat a genin, and you are worthy of being called a traitorous ninja of the Mist Shadow Village. It's really funny. Do you think I won't kill people? The fat mist ninja's face gradually became gloomy. As a traitorous ninja, they betrayed the village and the way of ninja, and the only thing left was pride. Now someone insults this pride, which is not allowed. What you said is very interesting. Tianming hugged his arms and said, anyway, the initiative is in your hands. You killed the ninja of Konoha. Do you think the Jonin of Konoha will let you go? Or can Momochi Zabuza save you? Who are you? The name of Momochi Zabuza directly defeated the calmness of the Mist Ninja. However, before the Mist Ninja could figure out the problem in his heart, the battle on the other side had already had a result. You have come to the point of threatening my students. I can't let you stay. Hitaki Kakashi slowly pulled down his mask, revealing his right eye that had been covered. Eyes opened. It was a scarlet pupil, the pupil shrank slightly, and the magatama in the pupil rotated. Mist technique. The Sharingan has the ability to instantly copy the enemy's ninjutsu. Hitaki Kakashi quickly made a seal, and before the mist ninja in front of him could react, 2 puddles appeared underground, and the water in the puddles turned into misty figures in an instant. The misty figure raised his knife and cut down 2 heads directly. The situation changed accordingly, and 3 of the 4 mist blades who came to ambush Dazna died. Which Jonin of Konoha are you? The mentality of the last remaining mist ninja had collapsed. Hitaki Kakashi. Hitaki Kakashi. The mist ninja muttered the name, and seemed to recall something, and said in a lost voice, the information is wrong. It clearly said that Dazna has no strong ninja to protect him. Fortunately, the collapse was only a moment. The mist ninja was at least a Chunin, and he recovered quickly. You will let me go, right? The remaining mist ninja suddenly said. Facing Hitaki Kakashi, the number of people is just futile. Now there is no need to care about the commission. You can only save your life. Of course. Hitaki Kakashi said. Then we will meet later. After the mist ninja left a word, the mist rose around him and disappeared directly on the spot. Kakashi teacher, why did you let him go? Uzumaki Naruto shouted. Idiot Naruto, Kakashi teacher is worried about us. Haruno Sakura said helplessly. The severe pain from his left eye almost made Hitaki Kakashi fall. Teacher Kakashi. Everyone gathered around him. Qingqiu and Tianming, come here. Hitaki Kakashi leaned against the tree trunk and said weakly, I used a forbidden technique, and my body was exhausted. I need to rest for the next section to the Land of Waves. Then I will appoint you as the temporary captain. Can you do it? Okay. Qingqiu and Tianming nodded. The reason why Kakashi was so weak was because he was so weak. There is a reason for this. After all, the Sharingan is a unique eye technique of the Uchiha clan. Kakashi's half-hearted use will naturally backfire. Teacher Kakashi. After giving the instructions, Hitaki Kakashi fainted, which made Haruno Sakura and Hyuga Hinata very anxious. Teacher Kakashi needs to rest well. We need to take turns carrying him on the road next. Tianming said. Leave this to Akamaru. Inuzuka Kiba said, and then he arranged a few ration pills and stuffed them into Akamaru's mouth. Then there is another thing next. Tianming's eyes returned to Dasna. You concealed this commission, right? The two of them were in a mess. Dasna's face became strange. The one who killed you was a Chunin. I think you didn't make it clear in the commission. Tianming retracted his gaze and said, if that's the case, then we have to talk about this mission. Our configuration cannot complete such a mission, so let's go back to Konoha first. It happens that Kakashi teacher is also in a coma now. I'm really sorry, I concealed it. Dasna bowed and apologized, because if I tell it, the commission for the mission will double. And I really can't afford the extra money. You don't need to apologize to me, you have to apologize to my companions. Tianming certainly knew why Dasna concealed the information, but knowing it didn't mean he could tell it. It would be best to let Dasna tell everything. Just now, Teacher Kakashi asked me to be the temporary captain, but I respect everyone's opinions. If I continue the mission to the Land of Waves, I will encounter stronger ninjas. So I ask you, how should we do the mission? Uncle. Your lies will kill people. Uzumaki Naruto complained. Chunin is not something we can do. Inuzuka Kiba said. Second. Aburame Shino nodded. We should return to Konoha first. Hinata Hyuga and Sakura Haruno's opinions were very consistent. In the end, only Uchiha Sasuke and Tianming needed to express their opinions. I'll listen to your opinion. Uchiha Sasuke said coldly. Me. Tianming said lightly. Of course I will execute it. The biggest enemy of the Land of Waves is Momochi Zabuza. Momochi Zabuza is very strong, but this is not a reason for Tianming to retreat. After all, there is still a sign in mission waiting. Then I'll go too. Uchiha Sasuke said directly. Hey, if you all go, how can I fall behind? Uzumaki Naruto also said. The three men of Team 7 have already made their attitude clear. The scene was awkward in an instant. At the beginning of the mission, the two teams carried out the mission together, led by the senior ninja Hitaki Kakashi. But now the mission has become more difficult, and Hitaki Kakashi is also weak. How about this? Team 8 will return the same way. You take Kakashi teacher back to Konoha, and we will go the rest of the way by ourselves. Tianming said with finality. Wait, Qingqiu and Tianming, I want to know what you rely on to do this. Aburame Shino suddenly asked. Rely on. The two strongest people in the future of Hokage, Susanoo Uchiha Sasuke and Six-Path Sage Uzumaki Naruto, what do you say they rely on? But Tianming will naturally not say these. Retreating is not my ninja way. Tianming finally said seriously. Little did he know that this ninja way statement directly confused the others. Yes. Uzumaki Naruto's eyes lit up. Then my ninja way is to become a Hokage. This is my ninja way. Boring. Uchiha Sasuke left a word and walked forward on his own. Then I wish you good luck. Inuzuka Kiba didn't say much. To put it bluntly, there was no tacit understanding between the 7 and 8 teams. We will bring you reinforcements. Inuzuka Kiba said and put Kakashi on Akamaru's back. The two groups parted ways. Tianming, Naruto. You have to be careful. Hinata Hyuga warned. Sasuke, you have to be careful too. Haruno Sakura said weakly, and her beautiful eyes were on Tianming again. Qingqiu and Tianming, be careful. After reorganizing, the three of them set off again. Dasna looked unreal. This hired mission eventually turned into 3 genin escorting him. walking along the seashore, when entering the territory of the Land of Waves. A big hole was broken in the ship that was originally docked at the dock, and half of the hull fell into the water. On the dock, a group of people gathered. What you said is true. Momochi Zabuza looked at the mist ninja kneeling at his feet and said coldly, 1 Jonin and 7 genin beat you like this. That Konoha Jonin is called Hatake Kakashi. He instantly activated his pupil technique and killed the first and second. The mist ninja said in panic, and the fourth was killed by a genin. Ha 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 ha, did I hear it wrong? At this time, a sneer came from the crowd behind him. The pot-bellied Cardo held a cigar in his mouth and blew out smoke rings, saying, although there are no ninjas in the Land of Waves, I also know that the genin of the general ninja village are only 11 or 12 years old, right? Can your men be killed by a genin? I paid a lot of money to hire you, don't let me down. This time I will personally. Are you still worried about taking action? Zabuza Momochi was not angry because of Cardo's teasing. It's better to kill Dasna here and put an end to it. Cardo said and turned to leave. I declare in advance that my people will not help. Cardo left, along with a large number of samurai. On the dock, more than a dozen people were left in an instant. Those who followed Zabuza Momochi were all ninjas, but there were not many of them. Hatake Kakashi, Qingchuan Tianming. Zabuza Momochi chuckled and said, let me look forward to it. The doctor said that the situation was not good. When the 8th team returned to Konoha, they sent Hatake Kakashi directly to the hospital. Soon, the 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen walked into the ward. Sister Sandame. The doctor at the ninja hospital greeted him. Sarutobi Hiruzen hummed and asked, how is Kakashi? He used the Sharingan and his body couldn't hold up. But he will be fine after a few days of conditioning. The doctor explained. Then please take good care of Kakashi. Sarutobi Hiruzen turned around and looked at the 3 people in the 8th team and Haruno Sakura in front of him. What happened to you? After the voice fell, the calmer Aburame Shino reported the situation. What? A chunin from the Mist Ninja. Sarutobi Hiruzen was shocked and regretted withdrawing Sunset Red halfway. Forget it, as long as you are all fine, Uchiha Sasuke, Uzumaki Naruto and Aokawa Tenmei. Sarutobi Hiruzen asked again. Answer the Sandame. Before Kakashi fell into a coma, he told Aokawa Tenmei to be our temporary captain. The result of our discussion was that Team 8 and Haruno Sakura would bring Kakashi back, and the 3 of them would continue the mission. Inuzuka Kiba explained. This is nonsense. Sarutobi Hiruzen was furious after hearing this. 3 genin escorted Dasna to the Land of Waves, and the opponent was the rebel ninja from the Mist Shadow Village. Now, which Jonin has not yet carried out the mission? Sarutobi Hiruzen quickly turned around and asked the secretary. 3rd generation, the only Jonin who has no mission at the moment is Might Guy. Might Guy. Sarutobi Hiruzen pondered for a while, and said, immediately notify Might Guy to go to the Land of Waves and bring the people back. Yes. On the outskirts of Konoha village, on the edge of a mountain somewhere, the waterfall water fell from the sky and hit the ground with great force, causing a deafening sound. Oh, Xiao Li. This is our passionate youth, can you still hold on? Yes, teacher. In the water flow under the waterfall, there are 2 shirtless men. From behind, the 2 have the same hairstyle, and even the passionate lines are synchronized. Rock Lee, who was originally washed away by the water flow and gradually couldn't hold on, picked up his spirit again. Xiao Li, if you can't stand it, just quit. The teacher has just finished the passion, and youth should also be done within one's ability. Might Guy said, showing his iconic big white teeth. Ningji, Tiantian, don't you come down and try. Rock Lee invited. Stupid Xiao Li, I'm a girl. Tiantian complained directly. As for Hyuga Neji, he refused to answer this fool's question. At this moment, several sounds of breaking through the air were heard in the forest beside. The secretary of the Hokage who was responsible for the communication came out and said. Teacher Might Guy, there is a new task for you to perform. New task. Might Guy jumped up from under the waterfall and took the task scroll handed over by the Hokage secretary and took a casual look at it. The Land of Waves. Kakashi is injured. Rebel Ninja. Interesting. Might Guy said and put away the scroll. Team 3 assemble. Let's feel youth together. Might Guy disappeared directly after saying that. Hyuga Neji and Tiantian followed closely behind, and only Rock Lee jumped up from under the waterfall after realizing it. Teacher, wait for me. I said. This task is not entrusted to Team 3. The Hokage secretary realized it after realizing it, but everything was too late. At the same time, the 3 members of Team 7 and Dasna finally walked out of the woods and headed for the Land of Waves. Along the way, Uchiha Sasuke and Uzumaki Naruto had difficulty walking, and Uzumaki Naruto sometimes fell down. Hoo, it's really not easy. Uzumaki Naruto complained as he walked. Uchiha Sasuke didn't say anything, but the layers of sweat on his forehead also showed that he was not relaxed. Tianming smiled and didn't say much. Along the way, Naruto kept asking about the method of controlling chakra, so Tianming told them how to use chakra instead of walking. Chakra gathers on the soles of the feet, and the ability to control is exercised by moving through the control of chakra. But after doing this, walking becomes a problem. If chakra is used too hard, it will step on the ground and make a pit. If it is used too lightly, it will fall down when running in the woods. The 3 walked for a while and finally came to the pier by the sea. It's Cardo's ship. Dasna, who was sharp-eyed, screamed instantly. The 3 looked up and saw a luxury cruise ship docked at the shore, and the ship that originally traveled between the Land of Fire and the Land of Waves had been destroyed. Ding. Approaching the mission check-in location. Quote. The system's voice came out again. Just when Tianming was wondering, the door of the luxury cruise ship opened, and dozens of figures jumped down from the cruise ship. The leader was naturally Zabuza Momochi. 3 Genin, do you really dare to come? Cardo, who was smoking a cigar on the deck, laughed out loud. Uncle, step back. Uzumaki Naruto protected Dasna behind him. Isn't Kakashi here? Zabuza Momochi teased, it seems that you can't feel the power of Konoha's Jonin. As soon as the voice fell, the mist ninja behind Zabuza Momochi rushed out at the same time. Tianming's eyes flashed, and it seemed that there were only 2 Chunins left in Zabuza Momochi's army. In addition to the one who escaped before, there was only by wearing a mask. Leave the Chunin to me, and leave the others to you. Tianming made a decision in an instant and took the lead in the battle. The 2 of them were in a state of panic. Zabuza Momochi did not attack directly. He crossed his arms and looked at the 3 people trapped in the encirclement indifferently. Multiple shadow clone technique. Uzumaki Naruto stood in front of Dasna, directly made a seal, and mobilized the chakra in his body. Dozens of mist ninjas were divided into 3 groups. The first to bear the brunt were Bai and the Chunin who had attacked before. Boy, I will make you die without a burial place today. The Chunin shouted, and the sickle ninja in his hand stabbed out. The sickle ninja instantly pierced Tianming's body, but no blood flowed out. Be careful of the shadow clone. Bai, wearing a mask, reminded. The Chunin's eyes were shocked, and a sense of crisis came from behind. Boom. Tianming kicked the Chunin in the back with a whip kick and kicked him away. Swish, swish, swish. The shurikens and kunai around him instantly locked all of Tianming's retreat routes. Tianming had a blank expression on his face and stomped his feet. The chakra in his body burst out, and a black chakra aura swept out, shattering all the shurikens. Momochi Zabuza, who had been watching the battle, rubbed his eyes in disbelief. Is that a genin? If it weren't for the information from his own people and Tianming's childish face, Momochi Zabuza would not believe that this was actually a genin. Looking back at the battlefield, Naruto was fighting back and forth with the mist genin. When he was on the road later, he kept gathering chakra at his feet. Now his body movements were more agile. Don't even think about hurting the uncle when I'm here. When the fight started, Uzumaki Naruto also used forbidden techniques. Multiple shadow clones expanded Uzumaki Naruto's clones into 10. 10 people acted simultaneously, and they were invincible. Another time, Uchiha Sasuke was obviously more experienced in combat. He held a shuriken in one hand and rushed into the encirclement of several mist ninjas from time to time without losing the upper hand. Boss, the situation seems a bit bad. On the cruise ship, a fat man next to Cardo said anxiously, will Momochi Zabuza not lose? Why are you worried about this? No matter how bad Momochi Zabuza is, he is also a very useful weapon. If he fails, I will save the subsequent reward. Cardo stuffed the cigar butt into the ashtray and said coldly. The battle on the dock is still going on. On the front battlefield. After a period of fighting, the Chunin in the previous sneak attack group was pierced through the neck by Tianming's shuriken. At this point, Bai was the only ninja besieging Tianming. Why don't you use your bloodline limit now? Tianming said coldly. How do you know? Half of Bai's mask was broken, and her beautiful face was full of shock. No point in talking. Tianming didn't want to chat. He was just wondering why the follow-up of the sign-in hadn't been triggered yet. Bai, kill them with all your strength. At this time, Zabuza Momochi's order came down. After all, the Mist Ninja rebels were almost dead. The battle entered a white-hot stage, and Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke were also wounded when they solved their opponents. After hearing Zabuza Momochi's order, Bai no longer hesitated and quickly formed seals with both hands. The next moment, mirrors condensed by black ice suddenly rose around Tianming. Qingchuan Tianming. Uchiha Sasuke rushed over to help. Water prison technique. Zabuza Momochi suddenly appeared behind Uchiha Sasuke and stretched out his hand. The water ball condensed by chakra directly trapped Uchiha Sasuke inside. Sasuke. Uzumaki Naruto shouted, and rushed up with the twisted shadow clone. Momochi Zabuza drew out the big sword behind him and slashed it directly, and the aqua blue blade whistled out, completely cutting Uzumaki Naruto's shadow clone in half. I will let you die in despair. Momochi Zabuza's cruel voice came through the magic mirror ice crystal. And the scene that appeared on each mirror was Uchiha Sasuke trapped in the water prison technique, and Uzumaki Naruto who couldn't get up from the ground. At this time, Bai's figure entered the magic mirror ice crystal. You are very talented, but Zabuza wants you to die, you can only die. As the voice fell, Bai made a seal with one hand, and waved the Senbon in his hand suddenly. 1,000 killing water flying. At the moment when the 1,000 killing water flying was triggered, Tianming finally waited for the follow-up of the sign-in. Sign-in mission activated. Sign-in, stand for 10 seconds. Tianming quietly waited for the countdown, and the ice needles in the sky rushed over and instantly cut him. Whole body. When doing the sign-in task, you cannot use chakra. Tianming can only resist. Despair, ha 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 ha. Standing outside the magic mirror ice crystal, looking at the scene of Tianming being pierced by Qinsha Shuixiang, Momochi Zabuza grinned. Despair. Zabuza, I'll let you die in 10 seconds, okay. Tianming's voice was extremely cold. He did not sympathize with the bond between Momochi Zabuza and Bai. He just wanted to kill people now. 3, 2, 1. Sign in successfully. Task reward. Tremor-Tremor Fruit Green. The fruit of the Tremor fruit was born in 1917. Sign in reward. Tremor-Tremor Fruit Dimension Level Skill, automatically upgraded with the host's strength, current fruit ability level green, fruit effect, vibration range of 10 meters. When the sign-in reward was released, Tianming was first dazed, then ecstatic. Tremor-Tremor Fruit. From the One Piece plane, the superhuman fruit of the Four Emperors Whitebeard. The fruit ability took effect instantly, and a strange feeling spread throughout the body. Tianming's mind suddenly emerged with the method of using the Tremor-Tremor Fruit, as well as the current fruit skills. 1,000 killings water flying is still continuing. More and more ice needles gathered together to attack Tianming. As long as a little later, Tianming's body might be completely torn apart. Tianming. Naruto Uzumaki roared, his pupils slowly turned red, and the temperature around him rose sharply. The red chakra seeped out from his body. Chakra materialization. Zabuza Momochi was stunned when he noticed the change in Naruto Uzumaki. However, before he could sort out his thoughts, another change occurred. Uchiha Sasuke, who was trapped in the water prison technique and would sooner or later drown, suddenly opened his eyes, and black magatama appeared in his scarlet eyes. Boom. Uchiha Sasuke's pupils shrank slightly, and a strange force instantly distorted the water prison technique. Boom boom boom. The water prison technique was broken, and Zabuza Momochi dodged it first. It's crazy. Zabuza Momochi had never seen such a weird genin. In the magic mirror ice crystal, when the last attack of Qinsha Shuixiang came one after another, Tianming, who was covered in injuries, stood up. Pointing at the overwhelming ice needles, congeal. With one word, the ice needles that were originally shooting out stopped directly in front of Tianming. Then they condensed directly into an ice knife. Tianming reached out and grabbed the ice knife, and the chakra in his body poured back into it. Shake the knife, shatter with jade. Tianming grabbed the ice knife and swung it violently. A white line instantly appeared in the world in front of him, and the white line penetrated everything silently. All the magic mirror ice crystals, including Bai's body. Boom boom boom. The sound of the atmosphere splitting sounded. The next moment, only a boom was heard. The world in front of Tianming was shattered. After splitting the magic mirror ice crystal with a knife, red rain fell from the sky. After dealing with Bai, Tianming's eyes returned to the side. Uzumaki Naruto has become crazy in the nine-tailed transformation, and Uchiha Sasuke has also opened the Sharingan. Tianming sighed. In the original plot, the changes of Uchiha Sasuke and Uzumaki Naruto were initiated in Bai's magic mirror ice crystal. It's just that he is trapped now. The two of them have reached this point because of him. Momochi Zabuza was beaten by Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke and lost his temper. Suddenly, he seemed to realize something, and then turned his head and saw Tianming. Did you kill Bai? No. Momochi Zabuza, who lost his mind, rushed forward regardless of everything, and the giant sword in his hand even scraped out a blade storm. When Momochi Zabuza stepped into the 10-meter range, Tianming raised the ice knife. One knife cut. The white line that cut everything made Momochi Zabuza disappear from the world. Plop. Tianming fell to the ground all of a sudden. After using the fruit ability twice in a row, Tianming's seriously injured body could not bear it. Qingchuan Tianming. Uchiha Sasuke trotted a few steps and fell to the ground. And Uzumaki Naruto has fallen into a coma. The whole world suddenly became quiet, and snowflakes fell from the sky. On the luxury cruise ship, the biggest winner, Cardo, walked out with a group of samurai and ronin. It was impossible for Dasna to escape, and he was directly controlled. Pa pa pa. What a wonderful battle, but it's a pity that I am the biggest winner. Cardo laughed coldly. You don't have to pay Zabuza Momochi's commission, and you can also blackmail Konoha's ninjas. Dasna knelt on the ground without saying a word. You will never see a bridge in the land of waves. The samurai's sword was already on Dasna's neck. Just when the samurai was about to take action. Suddenly, a huge kunai broke through the air in the distance and directly split the samurai holding the sword in half. The samurai and ronin swore that this was the most ninja tools they had ever seen in their lives. Children, let them feel the anger of youth. Might Guy arrived before he even arrived. The passionate youthful voice raised a storm that made it hard to open your eyes. Rock Lee and Hyuga Neji arrived in time, and without saying a word, they rushed into the crowd of samurai ronin from the left and right. Konoha Whirlwind. 8 trigrams 64 palms. Sometimes, the ups and downs of life come so quickly. Less than 3 minutes after Cardo finished his harsh words, the samurai group he was proud of was cleaned up by 2 genin. Boys, is the battle over? Might Guy came from behind, carrying Uzumaki Naruto and Sasuke on his back. As for Tianming, he was supported by Tiantian. Qingchuan Tianming. Rock Lee recognized Tianming at once. Tiantian, he and I are friends, leave it to me. Little Lee, you are clumsy, so forget it. The two of them started bickering right away, and Hyuga Neji never got involved in such things. Don't come over here. Cardo fell to the ground with a thud, and the high spirits just now were gone. No matter how arrogant he was based on the samurai and ronin he raised, but now he was the only one left, so he was naturally scared. As one of the ninja geniuses of the same generation, Hyuga Neji was not only strong. He was also cruel. Hyuga Neji's expression did not change for Cardo's plea for mercy. Please wait a moment. At this time, Dasna trotted over and bowed, saying, please let me do it myself. For his own selfish desires, Cardo built his empire on the entire wave country. Over the years, Cardo has caused countless casualties in the wave country, and he has lived in darkness all day long. Hyuga Neji glanced at Might Guy, who gave him a thumbs up. A man should be humble. Hyuga Neji. Although he was still not used to Might Guy's youthful enthusiasm all the time, Hyuga Neji still handed the shuriken to Dasna. Plop. Cardo knelt down and kowtowed repeatedly. Lord Dasna, please let me go. Just let me go. All my property is yours, and the money is all in the cruise ship. I can take you there. Dazna's face turned cold and he said, I won't take the hard-earned money of countless people in the land of waves. Lord Dazna, if you don't tell me, who would know? You hired these Konoha ninjas, right? If you let them let me go, I, Cardo, will never come back after leaving the land of waves. If it were anyone else, they would naturally be tempted by Cardo's money. But Dazna won't. He has been building bridges for half his life. Being a person is like a bridge. Straight to the world. I won't let you go, and those who have died at your hands over the years won't let you go either. You'll regret it in hell. Dazna roared and stabbed the shuriken directly into Cardo's chest. Cardo, who was pot-bellied, couldn't dodge at all and was stabbed to the bone. Ah! Dazna stabbed Cardo's body with shuriken in both hands. He pushed him to the shore and threw him into the sea. So far, the shadow that has been hanging over the kingdom of waves for many years has dissipated. After doing all this, Dazna, an old man, cried like a child on the dock. Although the incident in the kingdom of waves had twists and turns in the middle, it ended without any danger. Team 3 sent Buddha to the west, and directly asked Hyuga Neji to accompany Dazna to the kingdom of waves to wipe out the remaining forces of Cardo in the kingdom of waves. Without the Mist Ninja and the Samurai Ronin, the Cardo group will be completely overthrown in a short time. And Might Guy led Team 3 to bring the 3 people of Team 7 back to Konoha. Along the way, Rock Lee kept chattering and insisted on taking care of Qingqiu and Tianming. In the end, Might Guy directly threw Uchiha Sasuke and Uzumaki Naruto to him to feel the youth. When they returned to Konoha village again, Might Guy in the nearby village suddenly said seriously, I didn't win the battle with Kakashi this time. It seems that the winner can only be decided in the Chunin exam in half a year. Little Lee, Tenten. Teacher Akai. It was the first time that Rock Lee and Tenten heard Might Guy speak so seriously. Ningji is a very talented descendant of the Hyuga family. He will only get stronger and stronger, so you must not relax. Might Guy said straight to the point, and the 3 little guys in Team 7 have surpassed you in a short time. But Teacher Akai believes. You are not inferior to them, you will become stronger. Right. Yes. Teacher Akai. Rock Lee was instantly full of chicken blood. Although Tenten was not so exaggerated, her blood was boiling. Very good. Let's experience youth with all our strength. Soon after the 3 people were sent to the ninja hospital, they woke up one after another. Tianming was the first to wake up. As soon as he opened his eyes, he found himself in the ward, and Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke were lying on the bed next to him. Awake. At this time, Hitaki Kakashi put away the intimate paradise at the door and walked in. Teacher Kakashi, how did I come back? Tianming asked. Of course it was the assistance of Team 3. Do you think I saved you? Hitaki Kakashi made a rather embarrassing joke. You 3 have completed the task beyond the quota, and killed all the Mist Ninja rebels. It's really too proud. No one doesn't like honor, including Hitaki Kakashi. He himself didn't expect that after using the Sharingan excessively, when he woke up again, his students had already completed the task by themselves. Ahem. Teacher Kakashi, is this what you said about severely criticizing them? The 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen walked into the ward and said lightly. 3rd Hokage. Hitaki Kakashi stood up straight and waited for the lecture. Tianming rolled his throat and was retorted by Sarutobi Hiruzen before he could say anything. 1 or 2 are just making a fuss. You can also carry out such a task. If it weren't for the 3rd team's help, you wouldn't be able to come back. Sarutobi Hiruzen said earnestly. Tianming nodded repeatedly, but he felt differently in his heart. The treatment of being with the prince is really good. The old man was born in a big way. Actually, if you think about it carefully, the configuration of Team 7 is really a dream configuration. Hitaki Kakashi is a genius Jonin, a copy ninja, and the apprentice of the 4th Hokage. And Uzumaki Naruto is the son of the 4th Hokage and the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. Uchiha Sasuke also carries the blood feud of the entire Uchiha clan, and is also extremely talented. As for Qingqiu and Tianming, he has the ultimate chakra. Incomparably rich combat experience. Such a seedling will be the pillar of Konoha after training. Okay, don't act too rashly in the future. It's a blessing in disguise that you returned safely. Sarutobi Hiruzen put away his training. Kakashi, train them well and prepare for the Chunin exam. After saying that, Sarutobi Hiruzen stood up and left the ward. Teacher Kakashi, what is the Chunin exam? At this time, Uzumaki Naruto's puzzled voice came. It is the exam for Genin to Chunin, a comprehensive test for ninjas. It will be held twice a year. At that time, all villages that are eligible to participate in the exam will come to participate. Hitaki Kakashi explained briefly. Wow. There must be a lot of powerful guys. Uzumaki Naruto couldn't help but get excited. Don't be so optimistic. The Chunin exam is not as easy as you think. Hitaki Kakashi poured cold water on him. Hee. Uzumaki Naruto scratched his head and said, Teacher Kakashi, how did you pass the Chunin exam? Me. Hitaki Kakashi recalled carefully for a while. I forgot. After all, I was a jonin at the age of 12. After leaving the ninja hospital, Hitaki Kakashi gave Team 7 3 days off. When he returned to Qingchuan's house, Tianming saw an uninvited guest as soon as he opened the door. He only saw that Hyuga Hinata was wiping the floor with a wet towel. Tianming. What is this situation? Tianming, you're back. Hyuga Hinata looked up with a gentle smile on her face. Hinata, why are you in my house? Tianming was really confused. Don't get me wrong. I asked Teacher Kakashi for the home addresses of Qingchuan and Naruto's family when I saw that you didn't come back, so I came to help clean up. I didn't touch anything. As a war orphan, it's good to have a house, and naturally it can't be better than others. The mission in Wave Country lasted for half a month. If it wasn't cleaned, it would be really dirty. Thank you, Hinata. Tianming thanked. No, I should say thank you. Hinata Hyuga whispered, it was you and Naruto who helped me out on the first day of school. It's just a piece of cake. Tianming really didn't take the little fat man to heart. Maybe it's just a piece of cake for you, but it's different for me. Hinata Hyuga said seriously, forget it. I've already cleaned your house. I'll leave first. After that, Hinata Hyuga left Qingchuan's house. Tianming stood at the entrance and didn't see her off. He had a bold idea in his mind. Why did he feel that Hinata was interested in him? This was not groundless. Tianming was a young man in his 20s before he crossed over. How could he not understand the relationship between men and women? Hinata Hyuga's entanglement and shyness gave Tianming a beautiful illusion. Hinata likes me, can't she? Tianming touched his chin and muttered to himself. But on second thought, isn't a gentle girl like Hinata attractive? Who doesn't like gentleness? Tianming admitted that he really likes gentle types. Whatever you want, it's not time to steal the prince's girl, right? How can you call it stealing a girl by relying on your ability? After Hinata Hyuga ran out of Qingchuan's house, she went back to the Hyuga family, and the blush on her face still didn't completely fade away. She just lied. She didn't ask for Naruto's address, but only asked for Qingchuan's. Stupid Hinata, what are you doing? Hinata Hyuga was almost embarrassed. Ever since Tianming's strong appearance on the first day of school to drive away the gangsters, Hinata Hyuga always had the shadow of Qingchuan Tianming in her heart. Although she and Uzumaki Naruto have known each other for a longer time, Uzumaki Naruto's way of helping her out is usually to resist beating. But Qingchuan Tianming is different, he beat a group of people alone. And in the mission of Wave Country, they had no way to deal with a Chunin. Qingchuan Tianming was able to kill a Chunin. So far, there is a mysterious and powerful existence in Hyuga Hinata's heart. Or, maybe this should be called love. Time flies, and after the mission in Wave Country, Team 7 resumed their previous training life. Due to the previous experience, Team 7 could not get any missions out of the village. They could only do the missions in Konoha. Uzumaki Naruto complained about being bored all day. Uchiha Sasuke was still the same as always, but Tianming was happy to be idle. He had mastered the ultimate chakra and had precise control of chakra without a teacher, and he learned ninjutsu at an absurd speed. Moreover, there was no sign in mission release, and Tianming was still very happy to be leisurely every day. The old man was very angry. Teacher Kakashi, when will this end? Uzumaki Naruto was in a mess. He had just finished a D-level mission to help his mother-in-law catch chickens. Is it not good now? Hitaki Kakashi was a teacher and did not need to do it himself. What's good about this? Don't ninjas have to go through life and death? Uzumaki Naruto pouted. So that's what you think. Hitaki Kakashi closed his glasses and said, but your companions don't think so. Uzumaki Naruto turned his head and saw Uchiha Sasuke holding a sickle and cutting the grass expressionlessly. Every time the sickle was cut, the chakra that was scattered could clean up the grass in front of him. On the other side, Qingchuan Tianming was chopping wood happily with an axe. Haruno Sakura was gossiping with the old lady. Sasuke, Tianming, don't you have any feelings? Uzumaki Naruto was puzzled. Where did the tacit understanding of everyone going through life and death together go? Naruto, your thinking is too far behind theirs. Hitaki Kakashi explained. Although you are all performing simple tasks, you should feel the chakra use of Qingchuan Tianming and Uchiha Sasuke. Uzumaki Naruto couldn't laugh after hearing this. It seems that he is the only one who really works. Don't you even tell me the trick. Uzumaki Naruto directly followed up with the seal, shadow clone technique. Soon, 10 clones entered the chicken coop. After half a day, the D-level mission was coming to an end. Ding. Trigger the sign-in task. Please sign in the classroom within the time limit. On the way back to the village, after another month of silence, the new sign-in task finally came. Tianming calculated that it was just the day of the Chunin exam. Starting tomorrow, you don't have to come to the gathering place of Class 7 to prepare for the Chunin exam. As the class was about to disband, Hitaki Kakashi suddenly reminded him. Teacher Kakashi, so soon? Uzumaki Naruto was shocked. Although he was bored every day, he was still a little uncomfortable with the Chunin exam in a blink of an eye. It's always this time in previous years. Hitaki Kakashi said lightly. Anyway, with your strength, it shouldn't be a big problem. Could it be that teacher Kakashi has some exclusive inside information? Uzumaki Naruto laughed. Hitaki Kakashi raised his hand and hit him violently. You can only rely on yourself. The examiners are different every year. Good luck. As soon as the voice fell, Hitaki Kakashi disappeared. You're running really fast. Uzumaki Naruto rubbed his head. Everyone, come on. Haruno Sakura laughed dryly twice to ease the atmosphere. Uchiha Sasuke left without looking back, and he was still very frugal with words. Qingchuan Tianming, come on. Tianming nodded. Let's go together. After returning to Qingchuan's house, Tianming lay on the big bed after taking a shower and washing clothes. Tomorrow is the legendary Chunin exam. It is from this event that the development of the Naruto world has been fully promoted. Gaara, the confrontation between the 12 little strongmen of Konoha. Orochimaru. Tianming's eyes lit up. In the original work, Orochimaru's first appearance in the Chunin exam was for Sasuke. In the end, a curse seal was left. But what Tianming didn't know was that Orochimaru's chosen container had long changed from Sasuke to him, Qingchuan Tianming. At the same time, outside Konoha village, many ninjas from other ninja villages also came slowly. In the dark, wearing glasses, Kabuto Yakushi looked at the 3 Otonins in front of him and said lightly, this time in the Chunin exam, your mission is to bring back a person. Kabuto Yakushi took out a canvas and showed it to the 3 Otonins. You can only succeed and not fail. Master Kabuto Yakushi, do you need to go out for a small role? Tosin, the bandaged man among the 3 Otonins, asked. Although Kabuto Yakushi looks harmless, who can tell that such a handsome man is actually Orochimaru's right-hand man? This mission will be carried out independently by you. In addition, my identity cannot be exposed in the Chunin exam. If something happens that will expose my identity, I will kill you without hesitation. Kabuto Yakushi said coldly and turned away. Has he always been so arrogant? After Kabuto Yakushi walked away, Sakatsuki among the 3 said unhappily. Say less. The bandaged man looked at him and said, don't underestimate pharmacist Do. In the snake cave, many people disobeyed him. In the end, all of them became nutrients. Quote. Snake cave. A general term for the place where Orochimaru stayed. It is a place of sin that many people cannot imagine, and it is also the place that countless evil people dream of. No one who can enter the snake cave will be a pushover, especially since Orochimaru has inhuman means to make people stronger. So many people put completing Orochimaru's instructions and getting rewards first. As long as we capture the people back, Lord Orochimaru will give us some rewards, and then our status in the snake cave will rise. After a long night of silence, we got up early the next morning. On the way from Qingchuan's house to school, we ran into the 3 people from Sand Village. For this Chunin exam, other ninja villages have sent powerful ninjas, and Sand Village is no exception. Kanjiro and Tamari, who came to Konoha for the first time, naturally got lost in the wide streets of Konoha. I'm so busy. How about using ninjutsu to break the road for a day? Kanjiro was so crazy that he wanted to seal. No. Tamari refused coldly. This is Konoha, we can't act rashly. And don't forget our real purpose. Humph. Although Kanjiro was unhappy, he didn't dare to disobey Temari's intention. Isn't Gaara lost? Kanjiro muttered. You don't have to worry about that. Tamari rolled her eyes at Kanjiro and said, let's ask someone for directions first. That makes sense. Kanjiro looked up and saw a few children running out of the alley in front of him. Hey, little kid over there. I have something to ask you. Kanjiro's voice sounded, and the playing child froze in place, and then burst into tears. I have to say that Kanjiro's puppet master's dress is still quite scary. I say, why are you crying? Kanjiro came to the child in an instant, stretched out his hand to pick him up and said, a child like you, I really want to kill you. Bang! At that moment, a chakra-wrapped stone appeared silently on the back of Kanjiro's head. The stone hit the back of Kanjiro's head, and the latter was in pain and then furious. Who attacked me? Hearing Kanjiro's roar, Tamari, who was at the back, also locked her eyes. The stone just hit Kanjiro from behind, which meant that the attacker was behind them. You come to my Konoha to bully people. Tianming walked out slowly from the alley behind Tamari. Tianming knew that the trio were not enemies, but during the Chunin exam, Sand Village still had a plan to destroy Konoha to execute, so they were enemies in a strict sense. Asshole. Kanjiro was so angry that he wanted to take action. The bandages behind him began to loosen, revealing the puppet, Crow. Just as the sword was drawn, a figure hanging upside down appeared on the towering tree on the side of the road. Kankuro, no. Gaara said coldly. After the voice fell, Kanjiro's violent chakra could only be retracted little by little. For this younger brother, Kanjiro was both respectful and afraid. There are many opportunities, business is more important. After Gaara finished speaking, he disappeared again, without even looking at Tianming. Kanjiro stared at Tianming and said, what's your name? Wait for the Chunin exam. Qingchuan Tianming. Tianming introduced himself. His tone became playful and he said, Kanjiro, if you want to beat me, overcome your fear of your brother first. As soon as this sentence came out, Tamari, who was walking in front, stopped abruptly. She couldn't help but reach out and hold the 3-star fan. Do you know me? Kanjiro regained some reason in his rage. He was not a fool. This was their first time in Konoha. Logically, no one knew them. Tianming didn't point it out directly. Instead, he looked at Tamari and said, Tamari, according to your strategy, are you going to do it? At this moment, Tamari was really sure. The man in front of him might know the plan to destroy Konoha. Do you know our plan? Tamari said in an erratic tone. She was hesitating whether to join forces with Kanjiro to force the attack. Tianming's smile did not diminish, and he laughed out loud. The Konoha high-level officials don't know your plan. What I can tell you is that the plan will fail, and in terms of strategy, I think you will know a man named Nara Shikamaru. Who is Nara Shikamaru? Tamari asked. Who is he? He is your future husband. Of course, Tianming will not reveal such things. You are not from Konoha, what is your purpose? Kanjiro calmed down. I am from Konoha, and as for the purpose, I will naturally not tell you. After all, everyone has secrets, right? After saying that, Tianming walked into the child who was scared and cried by Kanjiro, and gently handed over a lollipop. Tamari and Kanjiro stared at Tianming for a while, until Tianming said that if you are not afraid of getting lost, just follow him, and then they took action. Ninja School. Ninjas from various ninja villages gathered together. When Tianming entered the ninja school, the sign-in task was triggered instantly. After standing there for 10 seconds, Tianming gained a lot of knowledge about humanities of Naruto. Tianming probably understood that the system wanted him to pass the first round with full marks. Tianming. When he walked into the classroom, Uzumaki Naruto in the corner waved his hand, and all 3 members of Team 7 were present. Tianming walked over and stood with Team 7, looking at the various ninjas in the classroom. Even Uzumaki Naruto became serious about this battle. Everyone looks very strong. The 5 major countries in the ninja world have different geographical locations and traditional customs, so the ninjas from each village have very different accents, clothes and even the feeling they give people. The most obvious ones are the Sand Village Trio and the Sound Village Trio. At this time, Kabuto Yakushi came out and began to explain. They are ninjas from the Sound Village, and they are very powerful. Do you know them? Uzumaki Naruto was the first to respond to Kabuto Yakushi's conversation. To be honest, I took the Chunin exam 7 times. Not only them, but I have information about every master present. Kabuto Yakushi pushed his glasses and said. 7 times. Haruno Sakura was also stunned after hearing this. What is this concept? It's just an obsession. Kabuto Yakushi waved his hand and took out a few cards. The 3 sound ninjas are ninjas from the hidden sound village in the land of fields. They are Toss, Sakatsu and Kotatsu. Among them, Kotatsu uses sanbon and bells as weapons to confuse the opponent by making sound waves. Sakatsu, he has a special device on his hand, and the small holes on the device can release the air-cutting wave. Kabuto Yakushi talked about everything in detail, even talking about everyone's ninjutsu and abilities. Just as Team 7 was concentrating and Kabuto Yakushi finished talking about Sakatsu, a teasing voice sounded behind him. What are you mumbling about, you 4-eyed guy? Sakatsu appeared behind him in an instant, raised his foot and knocked Kabuto Yakushi away. Kabuto Yakushi couldn't dodge and fell on the wall, then vomited. You, why did you hurt people? Uzumaki Naruto shouted with a sense of justice. I have to say that the bitter drama of Kabuto Yakushi and the Sound Ninja Trio was so good. If Tianming hadn't known the plot, he would have been deceived. Naruto, don't be impulsive, we have plenty of time for the Chunin exam. Tianming persuaded, he didn't expose it directly, because the Sound Ninja Trio played a big role in the Chunin exam. Not only is it an experience monster, but it is also a key factor in gathering the 12 little strong men to meet. And Tianming didn't intend to interfere with the development of too many things by predicting the plot. He would only do so when he wanted to prevent regrets. Uzumaki Naruto stared at the Sound Ninja Trio, and instantly Kabuto Yakushi's bitter drama took effect, not only pulling up the hostility between Team 7 and the Sound Ninja Trio, but also clearing himself of part of it. Naruto, you don't have to help me. Kabuto Yakushi said with great backbone, I will defeat them myself. HMPH. It seems that the previous few beatings were not harsh enough for you. Then be prepared to die. This was the first time that Sakatsun could legitimately beat Kabuto Yakushi, so he was extremely satisfied with his harsh words. It's almost done, I'll deal with them in the Chunin exam. The bandaged Toss said coldly and left the place. Are you okay? Haruno Sakura helped Kabuto Yakushi up. It's okay. Soon after the farce ended, a group of tall and strong Konoha ninjas slowly walked in from outside the door. The noise in the classroom disappeared instantly. Morino Ibiki stood in the middle of the podium, his eyes swept across the genin present like lightning, and a strong sense of oppression came instantly. As the head of the interrogation department of Konoha Anbu, Morino Ibiki could see through everyone's mind instantly. I am Ibiki Morino, the first examinee of this Chunin exam. This exam tests your ability to analyze and collect intelligence. Let me tell you the rules. Those with scores below 80 will fail. Those who fail will be forced to withdraw from the next exam and come back next year. Second, cheating is not allowed. Anyone found cheating will be disqualified from the Chunin exam. Third, if someone in the team scores 0, the whole team will be eliminated. Distribute the test papers now. After Ibiki Morino finished explaining the rules, all the ninjas in the classroom were stunned. Did they change the rules again? In previous years, there were written exams in the Chunin exam, but even if the written exam failed, the winners of the last 2 games still had a chance to be promoted to Chunin. But is it so scary this year? It's over. Haruno Sakura covered her mouth to prevent herself from shouting out. One person scored 0 and the whole class failed. Isn't this a clear elimination of Team 7? Haruno Sakura doesn't understand Qingchuan Tianming's learning ability. But she knows Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke. These 2 great gods were just scratching their heads when answering the questions. Ah! Uzumaki Naruto looked at the test paper in front of him and wailed. He had no idea how to do the test. He was just naughty when he was in school. He didn't even know how to take this knowledge into his head. Uchiha Sasuke frowned after receiving the test paper. He couldn't help but look at Qingquan Tianming next to him. At the same time, Qingquan Tianming also got the test paper. He glanced at it casually and roughly knew what the test questions were. The test questions on it turned out to be a chronicle of major and minor events in the ninja world, various humanities knowledge of each country and each ninja. No wonder everyone is afraid of written tests. Ninja schools teach people to master chakra and learn ninjutsu. Who wouldn't be afraid of such a heavenly book? Coincidentally, Tianming is not afraid. Teacher, if I answer all the questions correctly, can everyone in our class pass? Tianming raised his hand, and his voice resounded in the classroom. The scarred face of Morino Ibiki twitched. He looked up at Tianming in the corner and said lightly, "Are you sure what you said is true?" Full marks in the written test of the Chunin exam. That might be because he didn't wake up. Since the establishment of the Chunin exam, there has never been a full mark in the written test. Even now, those who are famous have no record of full marks. You are arrogant, but you can't recognize that you are futile. Morino Ibiki shook his head and said, "It's good to be confident, but you can't be too blindly confident." Tianming put down his hand. He knew that Morino Ibiki probably didn't believe it, and no one would believe such a thing. "Tianming, do you want to copy mine?" Hinata Hyuga's soft voice sounded next to her. She thought Tianming probably couldn't do the test but wanted to show off. "I can write it myself." Tianming smiled and began to write furiously. The rustling sound of writing was very harsh in the quiet classroom. Tianming's answering was like a signal, and the others also showed their skills. Uchiha Sasuke crossed his hands and supported his chin. He closed his eyes and opened them again, and the Sharingan was triggered. From the perspective of the Sharingan, the person in front of him could see his internal organs, not to mention writing any answers. Gaara by the window waved his hand, and a touch of sand circled in the examination room for a week, and then fell on his desk to automatically arrange the answers. The three sound ninjas in the corner closed their eyes directly, and they could hear the answers through. Just as everyone was showing their skills, Tianming raised his hand again. Morino Ibiki on the podium looked a little embarrassed. "If you raise your hand this time to say that you have a full score, I will rule you out." Tianming. Haruno Sakura also looked puzzled. Is he trying to show off too? "I'm done, can't I hand it in early?" Tianming took the test paper to the podium and took a picture of the test paper. Morino Ibiki chuckled and said, "There are 10 questions in total. You did 9 and said you're done. It's over." Haruno Sakura's mood fell to the bottom. She really didn't expect Tianming to be so weird. Is Class 7 going to be eliminated now? Tianming looked at Morino Ibiki calmly and said slowly, "Don't you need to answer this 10th question?" After this, Morino Ibiki's expression changed from calm to astonishment. This kid actually saw through the test questions of the first exam. See. The ninjas beside him took a deep breath. This year's Zero Chunin exam was extremely strict. Morino Ibiki was different from ordinary Jonin. His cautious character led to the final answer of the first exam being finalized before entering the classroom. Morino Ibiki said with a happy face, "Very good. Since you have seen through it, let's get to the point." The other ninjas who were still answering questions in the classroom stopped writing and looked confused. Wow! What did Tianming see through? Does anyone know? Uzumaki Naruto turned into 100,000 Ys and asked non-stop. Only 9 questions are needed in the content of the test paper, because the 10th question is not on the test paper at all, Morino Ibiki said as he swept his eyes across the ninjas in the room. The 10th question is a special question. If you answer it correctly, you can enter the next round even if you scored 0 points before. But if you answer it wrong, you will lose your qualification for the Chunin exam forever and be a genin forever. This, being a genin forever, that's too scary. As long as you answer the 10th question correctly, it doesn't matter if you got it wrong before. That must be very difficult, right? Once you get it wrong, you will lose your qualification forever. In the classroom, discussions arose. Morino Ibiki did not urge them, but generously asked others to think carefully. "Teacher, I choose to give up." Some ninjas raised their hands to give up, and other ninjas gave up after thinking and left the examination room. Tianming, what did you see through? Uzumaki Naruto whispered when Tianming returned to his seat. Naruto, you just need to sit still in this first round and you will pass. Tianming smiled. You don't have to do anything. Uzumaki Naruto opened his mouth and didn't react directly. When everyone held their breath and waited for the questions. Morino Ibiki on the stage suddenly laughed. Congratulations, everyone passed the first round. Oh my god. Really passed. Uzumaki Naruto looked at Tianming, really couldn't understand, we are in the same class, how could he see through it? Just when all the ninjas were full of questions, Morino Ibiki took off his. He took off his hood, revealing a head riddled with holes. The first 9 questions tested your ability to detect intelligence, and the 10th question is the most important. Morino Ibiki pointed at his head. After obtaining the intelligence, you will still face the consequences of failure. If you are captured, how can you pass on the intelligence? This requires firm belief. Without belief, how can you collect intelligence? After Morino Ibiki finished speaking, he put the hood back on and said, Teacher Mitarashi Anko, the first round is over. As soon as the voice fell, several figures broke through the window. The person who came was a female ninja who attracted investment, Mitarashi Anko. Another Jonin. For those who are taking the test, today may be the day they can see the most Jonin. The two of them were very excited. I am the examiner of the second test, Mitarashi Anko. How about the second round of the test? Catch up with me first. Mitarashi Anko introduced herself and rushed out of the classroom as a shadow. The next moment, everyone in the classroom also chased after her. And how easy is it to catch up with a Jonin? The genin who rushed out of the classroom chased after her one by one. Inuzuka Kiba of the 8th team directly fed Akamaru a soldier pill and rode on it. Aburame Shino summoned a swarm of insects and lifted it up. Hinata. Inuzuka Kiba originally wanted to take Hinata with him, but the figure of Hyuga Hinata behind him had disappeared. Let's catch up with the examiner first. After saying that, Aburame Shino rushed out first, and Inuzuka Kiba could only follow. In the woods on the other side, the 4 people from Team 7 were rushing, and before they had walked for long, the voice of Hinata Hyuga sounded behind them. Wait for me. The 4 people stopped, and Hinata Hyuga appeared behind them. Hinata, aren't you staying with Team 8? Uzumaki Naruto asked. He remembered that teacher Kakashi said that the Chunin exam was also a team-based action. I lost you, so I wanted to tell you. Hinata Hyuga stammered, and glanced at Qingchu and Tianming. Then let's go together. Tianming certainly knew what Hinata Hyuga meant, but he didn't expect that this girl was too blatant, right? She really bullied the 2 straight men in Team 7. Hinata, the rules say that the team must act together, so after catching up with the examiner, you have to go back to Team 8. Compared to Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke, who are both straight men, Haruno Sakura vaguely noticed something. Could it be that Hinata has a crush on Sasuke and came here to create an opportunity? I know. Hyuga Hinata smiled, but she couldn't help but mutter in her heart, Sakura is so alert, could it be that she also likes Qingchu and Tianming? This is not possible. The 2 girls' brains are fighting wits and courage, and the 3 men naturally don't understand. The perspective turns to a forest outside the Konoha village, where there is a special defense net, and there are several Konoha ninjas waiting next to it. Swish. Mitarashi Anko was the first to arrive at the scene, and after a few seconds, bursts of noises were heard in the woods behind. Those genin finally arrived. You are so slow. When everyone arrived at the venue, the first thing that Mitarashi Anko said was to complain, I'm not as gentle as Morino Ibiki, so be prepared. Yes. All the genin responded, but they were a little puzzled. Is that guy gentle? The second test is a battle. Mitarashi Anko said, and took out 2 scrolls with heaven and earth engraved on them. Later, these scrolls will be randomly placed in any corner of the Death Forest. What you need to do is to find the scrolls and gather the 2 scrolls of heaven and earth. Then go to the central tower of the Death Forest. Mitarashi Anko said while taking out a map and pointing to a location. The test lasts 5 days. Only the group that comes to the central tower with the scroll of heaven and earth within 5 days can pass the second round. Azuki Mitarashi put away the scroll and continued, Originally, there was a life and death agreement for the second round, but I don't think it's necessary to sign it. What's the point of being a ninja if you're afraid of death? Remove the obstacles. Azuki Mitarashi gave an order, and the Konoha ninja next to him began to make hand seals, and the defensive iron net behind him disappeared. The test begins. Training ground number 44 in Konoha village, the Death Forest. This area is usually guarded by ninjas, and its function is to test the Chunin exam. Therefore, this area has not been cleared by ninjas. There are dangers everywhere and there are many ferocious beasts, so it is called the Death Forest. After all the genin entered the Death Forest, they fell into the sea-like sand. Somewhere in the clearing in the forest, Hinata Hyuga also returned to Team 8. Hinata, why is your face red? Did someone bully you? He bullied the girls of Class 8, so he can't be forgiven, right, Shino? Inuzuka Kiba said as he looked at Hinata Hyuga's red face. I'm fine, sorry for your worry. Hinata Hyuga smiled. How could she possibly tell him about the encouragement Qingchuan Tianming gave her before they separated? I got it. Aburame Shino suddenly said, and soon, the swarm of insects he controlled flew out from the bushes beside him. The swarm of insects came to Shino Aburame and left him a green backpack. When he opened the backpack, there was a scroll of Earth. Oh my god. Shino, your little bugs are really good. Inuzuka Kiba said in shock. Ah. At this time, Akamaru next to him suddenly roared at a big tree in front of him. Inuzuka Kiba reacted instantly. Who is there? Discovered. A masked ninja appeared on the huge tree trunk, looking at the scroll of earth in Shino Aburame's hand with greedy eyes. You are so lucky. Now you have two choices, one is to hand over the scroll in your hand, and the other is for me to kill you and take the scroll. What nonsense are you talking about over there? Inuzuka Kiba said unhappily. You made me feel very bad, and I wanted you to kowtow and admit your mistake. You chose death. The masked ninja snorted coldly, and soon the other 5 figures rushed out from all around. You guys. Inuzuka Kiba was also shocked and said, malicious team formation. The groups are all 3 people, and now facing 6 people, the 8th team is under great pressure. The rules don't say that we can't form a team. Besides, as long as we kill you, who knows about this kind of thing? The masked ninja said with a grin. Just when the 2 sides were about to fight, Shino Aburame put the scroll of earth into her bag, then turned and left. Ya, Hinata, it's done, let's go. Shino Aburame's words confused the 6 people who formed a malicious team. The 6 of us can control you, kill you whenever we want, and we have complete control over the situation. You said it's done. Are you treating us like air? Asshole, you are underestimating us. The masked ninja shouted and reached out to take off the black robe on his body. The inside of the black robe was full of dense shurikens. The masked ninja grabbed the black robe and threw it. The overwhelming shurikens attacked instantly. If such a large number cannot be stopped, it will be like a sieve. Get behind me. Suddenly, Shino Aburame appeared in front of Kiba Inuzuka and Hinata Hyuga, raising her hands. Secret technique. Insect wall technique. Dense parasitic insects flew out from Shino Aburame's wide sleeves and formed a black barrier. Ding ding dang dang. Shurikens hit the insect wall, making a series of metal and iron sounds. After blocking the shuriken attacks, Shino Aburame waved her hand to take the parasitic insects back into her body. Shino. Are you so strong? Inuzuka Kiba said in surprise. It was the first time he saw Shino Aburame take real action. This is the secret technique of the Aburame clan, and it is not usually used. Shino Aburame said as if she had done something inadvertent, and then pushed the sunglasses on her nose. I didn't want to kill anyone, but if you want to attack me and my companions, then go to hell. You think you can be so arrogant after taking my shuriken? The masked ninja grinned and was about to seal, but when the chakra was almost condensed to 100%, the connection suddenly dropped. The half-sealed ninjutsu was instantly held back. My chakra, what's wrong? The masked ninja was shocked, and the other 5 people also formed seals but could not release chakra. Did you finally notice it? Aburame Shino said coldly. What did you do? The masked ninja was no longer so calm. They could not use chakra in the Death Forest and were not proficient in physical skills, so they could only be cannon fodder. Just now, When my parasite went to search for the scroll backpack, it made a little trap along the way. I thought you wouldn't get caught. Aburame Shino shook her head and said, don't you feel uncomfortable in your neck? After hearing this, several ninjas suddenly felt dizzy and their necks were slightly tingling. The masked ninja grabbed a palm-sized parasite from his neck. The parasite attached to his palm, and the soft suction cup opened and closed, and chakra left the body. Ah! The 6 people screamed together, and they all took the parasite from various parts of their bodies. What is this? What is this? Just cute parasites. By the way, after sucking out the chakra, they will suck blood. After saying this, Aburame Shino turned around and looked at her companions and said, we can go now. Shino, you are so scary. Fortunately, we are companions. Inuzuka Kiba swallowed his saliva and said, yes, we are companions. Aburame Shino smiled and said, I also have some cute parasites. Do you want to see them? No. Soon after Team 8 left, screams resounded through the sky. The sound was directly transmitted to the woods on the other side. At the same time, the 4 people of Team 7 also found a scroll of heaven and came under a huge tree. Ouch! Uzumaki Naruto suddenly hugged his stomach. Naruto, what's wrong with you? Haruno Sakura asked hurriedly. It seems like I drank expired milk last night. Uzumaki Naruto's stomach growled. Oh no. Trouble. Uchiha Sasuke frowned. Let's wait. Tianming suggested, just in time to wait for the sound ninja trio who had been following them. After a while, Uzumaki Naruto ran out from the bushes. Sorry, I kept you waiting. However, before Uzumaki Naruto walked in, Tianming picked up a log and threw it over. This is a transformation technique. The real Naruto is behind. Tianming rushed forward after saying a word. Have you been discovered? The log exploded the moment it approached the fake Naruto. Sakuchan slapped out with one palm. The pores on the arm were spewing white air. You are the only one among the 3 of you. Tianming said lightly. I am enough to deal with you. Sakuchan sneered and said, you should be thankful that you are lucky. Hey. Tianming's mouth corners slightly raised. Orochimaru said this to me personally. Thanks for watching, please subscribe and support our channel.